Bum, 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 bum. Hey, welcome in YouTube. We were just doing some chit-chatting and some card pulls and whatnot before starting the recording. I'm going to do my best to try to keep those things a little bit more separate. You'll probably still get some card pulls within videos and whatnot, but if I'm starting a stream with card pulls, I think I'll hold off on the recording until we actually fully get into it. Just so you know why we're starting this way. But otherwise, the plan for today is to do some more Doki Doki. We're going to finish off, hopefully, the side story content, and then do some other horror games, which I'm going to, again, try the same thing. I'm going to stop the recording, start a new recording, and have those all be separate pieces. So if you're watching this and feeling like things are a little off or weird, that might be why. Doki Doki will probably find the other games will probably feel a little weird in that regard, but we'll see. Otherwise, though, yeah, let's kind of dive into this. Give me a second to set this all back up. It's good to go. Okay. So as far as I'm aware, I looked up online, and it says that each of these is supposed to be roughly 15 minutes. Now, I don't know if that means part 1 and 2 together are 15 minutes, or if each of these is 15 minutes. So if part 1 and 2 are 15 minutes apiece, that would mean half an hour, an hour and a half, or it could mean 1, 2, 3 hours of content. I am unsure of which way it's going to go. So, to not waste any more time, let's dive into it and figure it the fuck out. We're just going to do them from top to bottom. And as far as I'm aware, the side story content is literally just seeing new relationships between the characters. I don't know if things are spooky. I don't know if there's any horror-based elements to it. I have no idea. So we're going to find out. Yeah, some normal dating sims, 100%. As always, let me know how the volume sounds. If I need to adjust anything, I will adjust. Soccer tryouts, bake sale, music club concert. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I missed debate club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club? By the way, good fun content about a wholesome literature club. Exactly, Jinx, exactly. I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence. Monica is the only member of the literature club. In the days that have passed, all of our efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless, as it should be. Am I going about this wrong? Yes. Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?" Maybe nobody's into literature enough to pick it over their other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature. I need to sell them on a vision. But what kind of vision? Monica rests her head on the deck, deep in thought. But before she realizes it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Hello? Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I never do this. Is this the napping club? No, this is... Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club. This is the literature club. Yay, I thought I got it wrong for a second. I'm super sorry, it was like so unprofessional of me to do that. Don't apologize, I do that all the time. Did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody? Well, about that. This is everybody. Really? Just you? But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it. Hold on a second. Oh, Sayori, she exists again. She does. The good ending where Monica is gone again and Sayori comes back and everything's kind of reset in that regard. She still knows what's going on. Like, she, as taking over the club president, she realizes all the stuff that happened before and all that kind of stuff. But instead of going the dark route like it does in the base game, the good route, she like apologizes, understands everything, and then like I think she said something like, "We all still love you," and the game kind of ends there. That means I get to be vice president. Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications? Well, I'm better at napping than you. Maybe I should be president. Now you're just making fun of me. Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name? Sayori. Okay, Sayori. I've been trying really, really hard in this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, no? I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I would make a terrible vice president. I mean, I'm sure that Monaco tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she doesn't know much about Sayori. I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found a few more members at least? Well, no, I want to join now. Really? Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing and you should be proud of it, you know. So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so... Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you. Oh, I'm Monaco, by the way. It's such a cool name. I know you're just trying to cheer me up. But you're smiling. Well, it didn't say it didn't work. Monaco glances at the flyers on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it. So what do we do first? Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members. I can do that. Cool. I think I need to put some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission. My mission is to make everyone happy. Yeah, something like that. I need to think about it. Hey, do you like hugs? I guess so. Sayori suddenly pulls Monaco into a friendly hug, then lets go. Some people can just really use a hug sometimes. Besides, Sayori whispers loudly, hug energy is what keeps me at my best. Although Sayori is different from her, Monaco feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member, but... Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people. Yeah, me too. Hey, let's go. The start of the terrible club. A day passes and the time comes for the Literature Club, Monaco and Sayori, to reconvene. As president, Monaco ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room, but she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori. It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining? No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm getting kind of worried. Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper. Sorry I'm late, I'm here. It's okay, welcome back. And Sayori spins over to Monaco and deposits the sheets onto Monaco's desk. What's this? It's a poem? Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my steps so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up to you. The more I look forward, the more I look up, the more I can lend to you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand, take me forward, take me to your dreamland. Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori? Of course. Wait, no. That's the wrong side of the paper. Huh? I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed. Monaco flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members. Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now. Do you write poetry often? I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good at it as you are. Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it, and I'm like, wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like the dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be, or something like that. You should have more confidence in yourself. You're the Literature Club president. I guess you're not wrong there. I need to, set a good example, or whatever. I can envision the club doing something like that. Do what? Like sharing poems while we write and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, It's like we have so much emotion that we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's in a poem, right? Yeah, I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision of the club. So I'm glad you showed me. Well, even though it was by accident. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future. I love that. Jeez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together? Our brainstormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. My brain is a natural disaster. Okay. So here, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at this list. Make cupcakes. I was hungry. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Let me think about this. I mean, when would we have the chance to give people cupcakes? Like when they come into the club. What if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers? I'm kind of worried that would bring in the wrong kinds of people, Wrong kinds? People would just come just for the cupcakes and then leave. Nobody would do that. That would be mean. But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature, even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list, hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it. Like, go around the school and finding people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch, and we tell them to check out the literature club. Well, the problem with that is, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How would you know if they're just reading for fun? You could ask them. Maybe we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part. Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the walls. I'd definitely like to start doing that. Just need to think. What would we tell people when handing them out? I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people. What if you told them about the club activities and stuff? What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sarah, pretend you're a normal person for a second. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of a literature club? Literature's stupid. I'm joining the anime club. What the heck? Sorry, I was just trying to think of a friend of mine. Okay, what if I said that we do group reading and discuss it together? I'll probably nap through that. That's you, Sarah. Yeah, but that doesn't really sound fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know? It sucks. Why is this so hard? Monica, it's because you're doing a literature club. No offense. I love reading. I really do. I love the fact of, since subbing, I've had more time to read and catch up on a lot of books that I have. But reading as a club is a very boring club. You do gotta figure out some more interesting ways to do things. What do you like about literature, Sarah? Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like, intimate. How do we get that across to people? We could be like, express your true self. Be intimate with us. Okay, that's kind of... I'm just kidding. What is it? I forgot all my things in my classroom. I must have gotten so excited and rushed here. Silly me. Rushed, but weren't. Ah, never mind. Did you want to get your stuff then? I'll forget it if I don't do it now. Well, I'll wait for you then. Okay, it'll only take a second. It's a perfect slogan, 100%. Sayre dashes out of the room, leaving Monica momentarily alone. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. No. Write your heart out. No. Write into your heart. Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart. Wow, that's lame. Ah, you startled me. Sorry. But it's something important. On the way to my classroom, there was a girl reading a book. Reading a book? Let's hurry and recruit her. Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework? I could tell she was really into it. Well, I guess we could take a look. Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. Then the two depart the classroom, with Sayre leading the way. You don't have to run. Sayre leads Monica over to a particular classroom, then lowers her voice to a whisper. See, in here. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone and intently reading a book. I feel like a creep doing this. You should go inside and talk to her. Me? You're the president, and I would probably scare her away anyway. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Monica takes a deep breath and timidly enters the classroom. That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Wow, what happened? Well, I entered the classroom, and she didn't even look up from her book, so I kind of just left the flyer on her desk and then walked out. It's kind of cute, but I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club. I hope so. Shall we head back now? The two head back from the classroom. Sayre feels rather accomplished, and Monica feels a little bit embarrassed by the encounter. The fact that she was so engrossed in the book, I'm assuming that that's going to be, fuck, what did I forget their names? Purple hair. The one we did the first run for. I'm blanking. Upon returning, Monica and Sayre resume their strategy meeting. They discuss various different kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. Yuri. Thank you, band. Yes, Yuri. 100%. It's because I always forget names, okay? Names are not the thing that stick with me. After going through Sayre's list, and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than from where they began. Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Hey, what's this? Sayre appears as a sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier. I don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself, join the literature club, write the way into your heart. That's so cute. That was a little overdramatic. I don't think you give yourself enough credit. What do you mean? Like, I don't know, I feel like I can tell from talking to you today. It seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong. Would you call yourself a perfectionist? I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go, and it's like I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything, so I don't think it's that bad. Like with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it into exactly how we envision it, but it feels like we only have one shot at it. So I'm just really afraid of it deviating from that, the vision. What's the vision? It's... Monica pauses a thing, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs. I don't know. I just want everyone to... Smiling, Sarah taps her fingers against a sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart. I think what you're trying to do is to make the club that you need the most out of anyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself best, of course, but I'm here to help you. It's kind of amazing how kind you are. We're really going to make this the best club ever. Sarah nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is the steady whisper of the air conditioner, and the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sarah breaks a moment with a big yawn. Time to go home? You tell me, you're the president. In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow. Me too. Sarah beams and grabs her things. You can go on ahead. I need a few more minutes still. Oh, I can wait. That's alright. I just want some time alone. In that case, Sarah waves enthusiastically at Monica. Good luck. Monica smiles and waves in return as Sarah spins her way to the club room. All alone, she sighs to herself and then takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encountered by Sarah, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now. The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that, because it's a window to the real person inside of you. Underneath the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. The person who's forced to be perfect. Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk. Did Sarah leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it. Worried, Monica opens the folder to check. Poems. It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. A feeling of joy is a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, 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 so pretty in my hair. Pluck, 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 you're going to die, and you too. Jesus. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, it's a barren wasteland, the fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that is why I've decided I must become the flower. Pluck, pluck, pluck goes the chicken. Based on how sad I get after finishing a book, I refute the idea that literature is anyway positively correlated to happiness. Hey, you enjoyed reading the book, right? Sure, you have an instant of sadness when a book is done because it was so good that you didn't want it to end, but you enjoyed the travel there. Alrighty, so there is one of the side stories. Having run the control simulation for a while, it's evident that a certain character is missing from any mention or appearance. This makes me speculate that Monica's meddling is less clumsy than we think, because she would have had to manufacture this character herself, as a way of forcing interaction between her and the user. Could that be why the character has such limited and dissonant personality traits? Or am I reading too much into this? I'll open an issue to start tracking info and observe the observations on the anomaly of this character appearing. And then we unlocked some new photos. As far as I'm aware, if I finish all the side stories, we should have 100% of the stuff. If not, we might be missing one or two pieces that I'll have to research. But the only achievements left are do the side stories and get all of these. And I guess the music as well, technically. Oh no, my controller died. Do. Alrighty, part 2. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sarah's poem. I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sawyer's going through these kind of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time, I didn't think of... I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sawyer enters the club room with her usual smile, but upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Monica, is everything okay? I'm really sorry. Such a terrible friend. Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend. Monica shakes her head. I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me that I'm trying to make the club that I need the most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours. Sawyer responds quietly. What are you talking about? But as she said that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayuri mutters her realization. I left my folder here. Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response. I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that. Uh-oh. This is where part of that spiral kicks in. But why? We're friends, right? Wordlessly, Sayuri nods. Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me. Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy. This is different. This wasn't just about you yesterday, it was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do this all of a sudden. I don't want it. I like happy, so if you do this, then you're just being selfish. Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayuri isn't ready to share certain things, but as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend. I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy. No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine. Monica takes a deep breath. Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry, and I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on, but can you promise me something? Promise you what? Monica pauses to collect her thoughts. This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart, or whatever. So I just want you to promise me that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I want us to be ourselves like that. Sayuri smiles gently. I'll promise if you promise. Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayuri's smile. I promise. Me too. As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities. So, want to teach me about poetry? Huh? But what about recruitment? It's fine, we have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know? There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything. That's fine. I just need, like, some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems. Starting isn't so hard. You just kind of need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you. Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good. It's not supposed to. You're going to have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can start by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage where you find all the things you want to put in it and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way, but it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning. I understand. You always get so caught up on how it sounds that I forget about what's actually important. Monica pulls out a pen and paper to start writing on. Stop being a perfectionist, you idiot. Just kidding. Monica scribbles out, you idiot, after she writes it down. No, keep it. What, why? Are you calling me an idiot? Of course not. But the point is that you're not supposed to police your feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want. Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites, you idiot. She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her. It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did that exact thing anyways. This is really going to take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course. Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sawyer's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. Monica looks up and down her sheet. Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it, but it's also kind of liberating. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems. Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really, really hard at it, but I think it's something that I'll enjoy doing. With you. Sayuri beams. I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. I won't be so picky about the language. Yay, let's do it. Monica and Sayre proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more confident in the club, not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. And then one of them essentially tells the other to kill themselves. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one to the club room. With her, it's a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayre came up with. If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day. So much more attractive than the old one. But the new catchphrase is featured clearly in the center of the flyer. Write the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayre had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from students. Why do I feel so tense looking at this? Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise. Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be about? The literature club is truly beginning to take form, but with that, the weight on Monica's shoulder only becomes heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort. It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall. I need to learn to express myself for real. Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch, which she does write a poem about. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her fingers through it. As she does so, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper. Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Monica writes, "This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain." See, that's a very simple and to-the-point poem. That technically works. You're using illustration through the smears, but then you have just a couple of strong words. That's perfectly fine. Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here. Hi. Monica hears her approach her desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day? Mm-hmm. Me too. You too? The new flyers look so good. You've been working so hard on the club, but also something else, I think. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable. Sayre takes a sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while. Can I trust you? Of course. Oh geez, we got 5 minutes until an ad. That came in very quick. You can trust me with anything. Sayre gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayre's desk and reads it. Sometimes I want to die. Sayre, this is really, really hard for me. Her voice shakes. See, literature only brings sadness. So if I can do it, then you can too, because you're like a million times better than me. That's completely not true. Sayre takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself. That's something about me that I've never told anyone before. Even now, my head is like screaming at me to stop. Well, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday, I want to. It just feels right. I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is a literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared. At those words, Monica stands up. Sayre must have taken days to work out the courage for this, where Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayre needed. Sorry, that's not fitting right in my head, brain. Sayre deliberate. I'm tongue-tying myself at this point, Jesus. Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence. I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry too much about me. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you can just be happy instead? So I never tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts that I have. It's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy. But that's terrible. That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing. It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that. Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something in the past. I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone. Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person. How did you find the courage to tell me this? You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too? I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to mean, I kept feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me. Monica feels a tightened sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori's emotions radiate between them. Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare. Monica steps forward, but if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy, if you'd like. Wordlessly and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. I feel like instead of plus, the subtitle for this expansion should have been Depression Express. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that all the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly. You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything, I'll never judge you. I promise. Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things that she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away, and now I'm making you put up with me, and I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now, so she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. It's just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort, but she knows Sayori said it herself that the thoughts Sayori expresses are ones that don't belong. And with that, we'll pause because the ad's about to kick in. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome, Rex. When did we find your diary? That's a good question. When did we find it? Would you look at that? Jam sub to Rex just to get the Rex ad. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value to me and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. It's a great emote. It is. It truly is. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. That's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gentle nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that makes what makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Of course, it will always be your choice, but if you're ever looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. I think it helps knowing that you would. So you're suddenly yawns and stretches. Wow, that made me tired and hungry. I'll make you do any work today if you're not up to it. No, I want to. I mean, I can say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy. But I might want to get a snack first. All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. Just think, they shared this moment, and then Monica still murdered Sayori. Well, worse than that, in my opinion. Because she technically didn't murder Sayori. It really did. Would it be? What's the one where you accidentally kill somebody? Is that third degree? No, that's manslaughter. Yeah, you could potentially consider it manslaughter, but it's the fact that she told her to go kill herself, which in my opinion is worse. She convinced her that her feelings were true and that she should just off herself. Like, fuck. Okay, who's responsible for creating a Twitter account for Monica? I think it's hilarious, but for God's sakes, don't tell Paul. It would get 404'd in a microsecond. Are you just relaying her tweets manually, or did you code some kind of pass-through layer to automate it? Based on the contents of the tweet, e.g. not screaming for help, I assume they're coming from the control simulation? Manslaughter is accidental. True, I guess, yeah, maybe... Because first-degree murder is when you have a plan, you execute it and all that. So maybe third-degree murder? Consider murder because mind control is not part of the existing judicial system. That's fair, yeah. What photos did we get for this one? Probably just the poems. Oh, and the crying scene. Oh, just the crying scene. Okay. And we got a new song somewheres. Second degree is planned. First degree, you meant to kill. Manslaughter, accident. Oh, isn't there a third degree murder? I thought there was a third degree. Okay, so we got Sayori and Yuri. The club meeting is suddenly interrupted by the sound of the door, causing Monica and Sayori to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. A face that seems familiar. No third degree? Oh, okay. Sayori's eyes widen, recognizing the girl. She's very conspicuously. She very conspicuously moused to Monica. It's her. It's the girl. It's true. The girl standing in the doorway is none other than the girl Sayori had come across reading alone in the classroom. Thanks to Monica leaving a flyer on her desk, it seems she found her way to the club. Are you here for the literature club by any chance? Am I in the wrong place? No, you're not. This is a literature club. Please come inside. The girl fully steps in the door, but continues standing against the wall, avoiding eye contact. Sayori continues to fail containing her excitement. It's happening. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming. Sorry it's a little empty. I'm Monica, and this is Sayori, and we were on the literature club, even though it's just us so far. But what's your name, by the way? I'd like to join your club. Already? Wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, I should be good enough. Everyone is welcome here. You don't have to be good enough. Oh. Do you want to have a seat? We'd love to get to know you. The girl nods, sliding over to a nearby desk and gently sitting down. So what's your name? Yuri. I'm Sayori, and this is Monica. Sayori, already. Nice to meet you. Do you like fantasy? Like books? Yuri looks at Monica. Fantasy is cool. Yes. Have you heard of Annabelle Dupont? Oh, I can't say I have. Oh, she's my favorite author. I'm on her 5th book, and it's just... Yuri grins and presses her knuckles against her cheeks in joy. You can borrow my books, I wouldn't mind. You're really in for an incredible experience. Monica stammers, caught completely off guard by Yuri taking control of the conversation. She glances sideways at Sayori, silently asking for help. I'd love to. It sounds like you're really into them, so they must be great. I'm so happy I found this club. I'm so stupid, I left all my other books in my locker. I should have brought them. Yuri quickly stands up. I'll be right back. I'll go get them for you. I probably only need to bring one for now. Sayori nervously says that, noting to herself that considerable heftiness of the books as Yuri sat down on her desk. True, okay, I'll go get the first one then. Yuri exits the club room in a flash, leaving Monica and Sayori silently exchanging glances. Oh my god, I wasn't prepared for this. How do I handle someone so intense? I have no experience with fantasy, except maybe stuff that I read when I was a kid, but that's probably a joke compared to what she's into. I'm sure it'll be fine. In fact, I think it's neat that we have different people who are into different kinds of literature. It'll be fun to learn from each other. I mean, I don't disagree, but what if this is her only interest? Doesn't it kind of seem like that? Monica, don't you think you should be more optimistic? We have a new club member. There shouldn't be room for anything but being happy. I'm excited to get to know her more, aren't you? Yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry for being so hasty. I just got really anxious all of a sudden. It's because you're afraid of not being able to take the lead. What the heck? It's kind of scary how you can point things out like that, Sayori. I'm just learning what makes people happy or sad. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd probably be great at helping Yuri feel comfortable here. Maybe you could take a break from helping me with the administrative stuff and just focus on spending time with her. Yeah, it's exactly what I want to do. Besides, Sayori lowers her voice. I'm probably going to need all the time I can get. She taps her fingers against the dauntingly chunky book Yuri left sitting on the desk. Right afterwards, the door opens to reveal Yuri's return. I'm back. Her breath is slightly heavy, which, combined with her short time gone, indicates she must have ran at least part of the way. She makes her way back over to Sayori and sets the book down on her desk. Just as Sayori feared, the book Yuri brought her for her is just about equal in size to the one already on Yuri's desk. Well, there are probably a few things you should know before getting started on it. There are some things that are more explained in other books that take place at the same universe, so going over those would be good to keep you from getting confused at the start. Sayori nervously interjects. Well, I was thinking that maybe today we could just get to know each other a little bit more. I think if we're going to be reading together, then I would like that. From across the room, Monica smiles and nods at Sayori while Yuri isn't looking. Oh, okay. Yuri sits down and looks at her book, then glances around the room, showing no indication that she has anything more to add. So what made you decide you wanted to join the club? Well, I like reading, so I was immediately interested. I had no idea that someone was starting a literature club, but that's my fault since I hadn't been paying attention to any of the club recruitment advertisements. I only found out because Yuri glanced over at Monica. Monica came into my classroom and put her flyer on my desk. Suddenly, Yuri's face darkens, and she shakes her head at herself. I was so stupid. I got too nervous and couldn't even look up, so she just walked out. It took me several days just to come here because I was afraid that Monica told everyone how inconsiderate I was, but I decided that was probably irrational. Wait, no, that was totally my fault. I felt so bad about interrupting you that I just walked out. I was actually really hoping that you would come by. Yuri exhales in relief. I always seem to interpret things as the worst possible scenario. Well, I was really nervous to come here for some other reasons too, such as there being too many people. Not that I mind that much, but I have a really hard time having to meet a large number of new people at once. So it's actually amazing that it's just the two of you. I definitely came at the right time. Yeah, that makes me happy. I'm proud of you for working up the courage to come. Yuri smiles warmly to herself. I've never really had the privilege of sharing my interests with others before, so it's hard to find others who are into the same things that I am, except online. So I thought the literature club would provide a chance for me to do that. What kind of other things are you into? Like genres? I don't know, just anything, even if it's not literature. Oh, just things you would think are dumb. Sarah pauses, a look of concern on her face. How about I'll tell you something I'm into, and then you can tell me something you're into. I suppose that would be okay. Okay. Well, I'm pretty into like crafty things, like making cute little collages or decorating things like cards or jewelry boxes. My room's always cluttered with random stuff because I keep buying things to make gifts for my friends, but then I put it off till the last minute. So yeah, that's something kind of silly that I'm into. You sound quite creative. Not that much, it's just that you'd be surprised by how much you can do with scissors and glue and stuff. I always think the worst possible thing. No one tell Yuri that the moment she left the classroom they started judging her. Yeah. But they were also judging themselves based on their reaction. It was a fair judgment on both sides. So I have to share something that I'm into now, right? Sarah nods. Well, I guess I'm into nature. I love nature. Monica, I'm going to start a nature club. No, you're not. You're stuck here with me now. I'm not. Oh, yeah? Well, I hereby appoint you as vice president of the literature club. There, now you're stuck with me. Hey, don't give me responsibilities. Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I interrupted you. Go ahead. It's fine. Yuri pauses, feeling awkward about having gotten cut off. I like going out into the woods or to the park, just places where you can walk or sit and not have any people around. It's peaceful. Just nice to kind of remove myself from everything that matters and let my racing mind operate autonomously for a while. When do you like to do that? It just depends on my mood. After school, on the weekends, whenever I feel like I need it. Wow, I feel like I would never have the time to do something like that. I find that we have a lot more time than we think we do, if you don't let it slip through your fingers. The three continued their conversation, led primarily by Sayuri, but Monica chiming in every now and then as well. Monica had intended to leave it to Sayuri and focus on her own work, but she found it difficult not to join in. Before they knew it, the end of the day was upon them once more. Oh, looks like we should be wrapping up for today. So are you two going to be starting on that book the next club meeting? That's the plan. I'm so excited. Sayuri beams, Yuri collects her things. Once packed, Yuri wordlessly waves to Sayuri and Monica with a gentle smile. Bye! As Yuri exits, Sayuri enthusiastically returns her farewell. Once again, Sayuri and Monica are left in the clubroom. Sayuri, you're a lifesaver. I didn't do anything, I just talked. Still. Besides, I really lifted my mood. It feels really nice when I can put my energy towards other people like that. She was really excited to be included, you know? It made me happy. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that she'll have a great time here with you engaging her. How are you feeling about starting the book with her next meeting? I'm kind of scared, but I think she'll be happy as long as I'm trying my best. I think you'll do great. After the surprise of a new club member, it seems like everyone has their spirits lifted with something new to look forward to. And then everyone dies. Another school day ends. Swallowing her anxiety, Yuri makes her way to the clubroom, expecting to be the last one to arrive. As she opens the door, she's surprised to find only Sayuri in the clubroom. It's club time again. Monica went to the computer lab, so it's just us today. Is that okay? Yuri silently nods, unable to make eye contact. Sorry about yesterday. Sayuri tilts her head, unsure of exactly what Yuri's talking about. I mean, the way I got overly excited to share my books, and how you had to stop me so we could talk first. It was so inconsiderate of me. I got too excited and forgot to think about everyone else in the club, so... You didn't do anything wrong. I thought it was cute how excited you were. Well, still, I think I changed my mind about the book. We don't have to read it. Huh? Why? Because I know that you were just humoring me anyway. In retrospect, it's rather obvious that nobody was truly interested. If you like it so much, then it must be worth sharing. I've already decided I'll join the club, so you don't have to try so hard to entice me. That's not what I was doing. A moment of uncomfortable silence stretches between the two of them. Well, the thing is, we don't have any club activities yet. I mean, Monica and I have been working hard on recruitment stuff mostly. So it just sounded like something fun that we could do together, reading your books. You know, like as a club activity. That would be okay, right? Why am I being so resistant to this anyway? It's exactly what I wanted in the first place, and you're being so nice about it. I really don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry for being like this. You don't have to apologize. Just tell me if there's anything I can do to help you feel more comfortable here. Sayori puts her desk up against Yuri's and sits next to her. The book in question is already on Yuri's desk. Peering over, Sayori reads the cover of the book. Dusk Bell, Part 1 of the Everlast Saga. It's Dusk Bell by Annabelle. Sorry, I'm ready now. Alright, I should probably get some paper. Yuri grabs a spiral notebook of hers and tears out a few sheets of paper. Wait, how can we need paper? Oh, it's useful to draw things out sometimes, like maps, timelines, family trees, or just for taking notes. Yuri instinctively understands not to trust them, and quite right too. Fair. You can trust Sayori though. There was nothing wrong with Sayori until she became the club president. Then the issues arose. Notes? I mean, yes, that's an effective strategy. Exactly. I'm sure it will be especially helpful for someone new to the genre. Sayori's joke flew completely over Yuri's head, but thinking about it, she decides it's probably for the best that it did. Well, I'm not used to having company through this, but I'll try to help make it as accessible as possible. I trust you. You're like super smart. Oh, please. Yuri tries to dismiss the compliment, but she can't hide her smile and light blush. You can't generalize intelligence. I'm only smart in the things I have a lot of experience with. Contrarily, I'm awful at anything involving real people. That should be evident enough from the 2 days I've spent here so far. So in my eyes, it's everyone here who comes off as smart, especially you. No. Sayori rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. You're such a sweetheart when you're not being shy. Anyway, would you like to get started? After the minor diversion between them, the two get back on track with their planned club activity. Yuri begins to guide Sayori through the basics of the fantasy world her story takes place in. The more of it she details, the races, factions, history, elements of magic, the more questions Sayori seems to have. But despite Sayori's expectations, Yuri eloquently guides her through it in a way such that it's fun to follow along. It becomes evident that the world-building aspect of the story, not just the story itself, is one that Yuri finds her passion leaning towards. How do people come up with this stuff? It's like the exact opposite of the kind of writing that I do. What kind of writing? Oh, like poetry and stuff like that. The things I write are just like putting down the feelings that come into my head, you know? But this is like, there must be so much planning and hard work. Ah, you're into poetry? I think there's an appendix that includes some of the kingdom's written works, like poetry and folk songs. No way. Yuri giggles, filling Sayori's heart with happiness when she realizes it's the first time that she's heard Yuri laugh. It means Yuri must be having fun. Anyway, I think we can get started reading now if you're ready. Okay, but I can't read very fast. Oh, that's fine. I'm very patient. Patience is something I pride myself in. I see. Sayori jots, Yuri is patient in her notes. Hey, that's for the book. Just kidding. But I'm kind of glad you're patient because I need that sometimes. A lot of times. Sayori flips through the first few pages of the book, getting past the table of contents. Okay, chapter 1. The room becomes silent as the two of them begin to read. But the silence only lasts for a moment before Sayori speaks up again. What does vindicated mean? Oh well, in this context, it essentially means that he was proven innocent. It's okay to ask questions, right? Of course. Sayori turns the page. Are these footnotes? A lot of the dialogue has cultural references that require explanation to be understood. The two continue reading. Yuri's relaxed expression remains unchanged. Meanwhile, Sayori's expression grows tense as she tries to make her way through the dense text. Up until now, their expressions had been reversed, with Sayori easily navigating social situations and Yuri struggling in them. But the tables have turned. Wait, are they talking about the past right now or the present? Where? Right here. They're talking about the past. These paragraphs are describing a flashback that Barnes is having. But they didn't tell me that. It's implied from the context. Sayori rubs her temples. The two of them continue, with Sayori asking fewer questions. She begins to understand the value in the notes, as she finds herself referring to them somewhat often and even adding to them. But her reduction in questions comes not from her getting used to the reading, but rather from her fearing that she'll come across as stupid. At last, Sayori reaches the end of the chapter. I think we stop here for now. Okay. Sayori takes a deep breath and closes a little of the book she's gotten through so far. So what are your thoughts up to this point? Sayori tries to find words. Am I doing well so far? I'm not sure I understand. Well, I don't know. When it takes me so long to read and understand things, it makes me feel really dumb. But I really like how into it you get. It makes me want to keep going and to keep doing my best, so I can see it the way that you do. The relaxation in Yuri's expression fades. I see. Yuri quietly gathers her things. We can continue tomorrow, right? Yuri pauses and shakes her head. We can do something else tomorrow, but I'm sorry. Wait, sorry for what? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this anymore, that's all. I'm sorry that I made you. You were making me? Sarah's left alone with her words. How did this happen? We were having fun just a second ago. It's my fault. I said something stupid and hurt her. I should have just told her that I enjoyed it. Monica trusted me with this. It's the only thing I'm good at, and I still messed it up. What if she doesn't want to come back? Drowned in guilt, Sarah stares blankly at her desk, spread with notes. The book sits next to them. Right. If she wasn't coming back, then she wouldn't have left the book here, right? Unless she forgot to take it with her. Ah, this is horrible. Was it really because she thought I wasn't enjoying our time together? Or maybe she wasn't enjoying our time together because I'm not good enough? I probably let her down so much by having trouble following along. Yeah, I'm sure if I was smarter, she would be having so much more fun. I need to do better for her. Yeah, a lot of them put too much expectations on each other. Gotta chill it a little bit. And just the one photo there, and then new music. Alrighty, off to the next one. The depression continues, yeah. Part 2. For the first time, Sari is the first to enter the clubroom. Anxiety continues through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. But I'm letting everyone down. I'm always just a disappointment. Sarah continues to wrestle with her self-depreciating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Minutes pass and nobody enters the clubroom. Not Yuri or Monica. Pum pum pum. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? Such a pushover sometimes. I'm going to leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monica rounds the corner, approaching the clubroom. As she does so, Yuri jumps at the sound of Monica's voice. She's sitting outside the clubroom against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door of the clubroom is open. Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. She peers inside the clubroom through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With club publicity stuff? Yes. Monica is utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden when she was so eager to spend time with Sarah before? Did they not get along after all? Monica looks into the clubroom herself to see Sarah sitting alone. It's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Monica is worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that must have arisen. It's a little ironic she realizes that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around to the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. Two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monica finds it quite difficult to strike up conversation. How's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Not even follow up with anything more. Monica tensed up at the stinted conversation. How the heck did Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer lab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. I'm glad. It's starting to feel more like a literature club now. It's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me, because I'm just intimidated by things I'm not good at. And it's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working. I'm really happy about that. She's not into it. She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as if she started her thought but can't figure out how to continue it. Did something happen? No, it's just me. Yuri pauses. I'm thinking. A moment passes in silence, then Yuri shakes her head. I shouldn't be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly. I won't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to you, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. I feel so wrong to inconvenience you with it. Monica pauses and thinks. Well, what if you put it this way? It's my job as president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people join this club, hopefully anyway. and learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with activities that everyone can be happy with. Not just only some people, of course. I need to be looking out for everyone, otherwise, what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monika that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. Each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things that I'm into, unfortunately so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. Oh god, I can't stop yawning because of all the reading. Ugh. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sari falls into that third category. What? Hold on, you're saying that Sari is taking pity on you? You're nuts. I just want to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me, or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sari is too nice to me. I'm so stupid for not realizing that she would just go along with whatever I pushed her onto. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling. I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the tense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stopped short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down, with her fists clenched. I think you should tell her that. I can never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sari is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something that Sari would be able to say better. Sari is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri... Sorry, my phone went off. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sari to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exasperating the matter. Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without them understanding each other better. So Yuri wants to be your friend, I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sari, she has her own needs too. But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Yuri stops and shakes her head. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just, it's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of the cycle of grading for myself. I think I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a weird venting session, but I understand now that I just need to communicate with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something that I'm really bad at. About people. So thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For just a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Aww. Yuri and Monika finished replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika mostly did the work while Yuri followed along. But as the clubroom once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. You can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. God damn. Yuri should grab an energy drink now. Fuck. Yuri starts towards the door, but then turns to face Monika. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? I can take a walk. Want me to get you a coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about it. Although I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club rather than at home. I don't get to drink tea while reading. So I guess that has nothing to do with this. They mention it. I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for the tea in the club room. You can use like an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it would be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea is enough to save her from the anxiety of the task that lies before her. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. Yuri? Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet. Sayuri shuffles a bunch of papers around. Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayuri has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first, but got most of the way through it. And look, Sayuri holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color-coded. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fists against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayuri's voice quivers in shock after having received the exact opposite response she was expecting. I'm sorry. Sayuri looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand. So if I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought if we did something together that you really like, I don't want your pity. Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees. Her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it so hard just to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayuri or the rest of the world. She should leave, just escape from here, before Monika sees her like this, and before Sayuri tells Monika what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. It's okay. Sayuri whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. I like how the characters are so self-aware and yet so in need of therapy. Yes, every single one of them fucking need therapy. Like, all this bullshit just led to them murdering each other. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayuri's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through a clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand that the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise, I understand that. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together, okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is just doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. So it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayuri doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought it was finally my chance to make friends through my interests. Because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then, whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessed in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person. But how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayuri, who can feel Yuri's breath rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading, so I'll help you with the things that you need too. I feel like it would just be frustrating for you with how much patience I require sometimes. That's kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me, but I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah, irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate me because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you have a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club. But it's the best part that we're all different and have different interests. Like about the book. I'm reading it because I want to. I promise that's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that. But I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already, the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay just listening rather than worrying so much about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the literature club can make it happen, then it's something that she deserves to experience. See, these side story things feel more like a proper dating Sims, where there's no, death and destruction happening. It's just people opening up about themselves. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. But we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course. I'm not going to judge anything this early on, though, so we'll just see what happens. Oh, and, it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I'm back. Monika's back. I haven't seen you, at all recently. So you trots over to Monika. She whispers loudly. Can I hug you? Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri, might be good to know. Sayori can be a good, kind of hug monster. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monika perplexedly looks between the two of them, then smiles. I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as a club. About that, well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me not to return the favor to you and learn about the things that you like. Do you like poetry? Yuri smiles. I'm assuming that's the end of Yuri's. As a reminder to help guide our data collection, any analysis performed should be focused on answering some of these main questions. How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's emotional state? How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's value and goals? How does someone effectively navigate and experiment with their ability to control or to change their contents of their VM? How is elevated access being weaponized? What actions and values must contribute to the destruction of the universe? Most importantly, how might your observations apply to our own universe? Bonus, how can we present this to upper management as an opportunity that benefits the company? Unrelated note, whoever changed the color scheme of the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and it runs the risk of drawing eyes. No. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, who do we got next? Getting our third club member. We've got Brain. Nope, I've lost that one as well. Natsuki, that's yes, I think you're right with that, man. Natsuki, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8. Fuck, we still got 8 more. We're only a third of the way through this. Holy shit. Not gonna lie, it's just a lot of reading. It's been several weeks since the club has officially started. Through their initial setbacks, the 3 club members so far, Monika, Sayori, and Yuri, have increased their collective bond within the club. Sayori has partaken in some of Yuri's high fantasy literature, and all 3 of them, led by Sayori, have taken an interest in poetry. On a day like any other, the 3 find themselves suddenly interrupted by the clubroom door opening, and in walks a girl none of them have seen before. I think I'd be concerned if the visual novel did not involve a lot of reading. Yeah, it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. And there's no darkness happening. It's all just interpersonal stuff. Natsuki, yeah. Hi. Sayori tugs excitedly at Monika's sleeve. Yuri shifts in her seat and buries her eyes in her book. Are you here for the literature club? Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for stopping by. It's kind of a small club still, so it's really exciting to see new faces. Come and sit down. You can sit next to my desk. Yuri prances over to her desk and presses her palms into it. Oh, and Yuri can make you some tea. Yuri looks up at Sayuri in protest for having drawn attention to her. Natsuki silently glances between everyone and sits down next to Sayuri. Monika follows by sitting nearby. The sudden gathering prompts Yuri to stand up, deciding that standing in the corner and making tea doesn't sound so bad after all. Okay, then how about we all introduce ourselves? Okay, well, I'm Monika. I'm the one who started the club. I was originally in the debate club, but I really wanted to do something I felt more passionate about, if that makes sense. So I started the literature club as a way for people to express themselves through writing or reading or whatever other kind of literature. You know, I figured it was your club. You have that vibe. I have what vibe? Oh, you know, like, never mind. Not gonna judge people I just met. Very adult-like of you. I always judge people so hard. Oh no, you don't, Sayuri. Yes, she does. Yuri's deadpan voice carries across the room. Natsuki giggles. I'm Sayuri. I just like learning about everyone and making friends. Oh, and I also like poetry. Yeah? Very adult-like of you. I'm an adult. The sound of Yuri's electric kettle steaming up fills the room. Oh, that's Yuri. Sayuri lowers her voice. She's kind of shy, but she's really nice and super smart. She likes big fantasy books and tea, and I love her. Well, I guess that leaves me then. I'm Natsuki. I'm listening to music and hanging out downtown and stuff. And my favorite ice cream flavor is strawberry. Ooh, let's get ice cream. My favorite flavor is probably cookie dough, or maybe chocolate. It's cookie dough. Monika's is probably vanilla. What the heck? I take way too many online quizzes. The ice cream ones are always accurate. What's Yuri's favorite? Probably green tea. I'm just joking. I have no idea for Yuri. Still, it's pretty chill here. Do you just like hang out, or do you actually do club stuff? Well, we do club stuff too. It just hasn't been very structured yet, since we only have like 3 members, so we kind of just loosely spend our time doing the stuff we like. But I keep thinking it's about time we start like some more structured club activities. It's been a while by now since I started the club, so yeah. Well, with that being said, what kind of literature are you into, Natsuki? Anything you'd like the club to get into? Well, I guess I'm literature. Well, I like manga. Manga? Hey, why'd you say it like that? I want to read manga in the club. Wait, hold on a second. That sounds so great. Like, after all I've been doing all this, Yuri returns to the desk with a tray of teacups, which she sets down on an empty desk. After all of the deep and immersive reading I've been doing, I wouldn't mind doing something a little more simple. Manga isn't simple. If you think that, you just don't understand the nuance. I didn't mean simple like that. Well, anyway, putting manga aside, is there any other kind of literature that you're interested in? Well, not really. In that case, have you considered the anime club? Are you serious? I'm not gonna join the anime club. It's full of weird guys. Come on, isn't that big of a deal? Manga is literature, right? Let me guess, if you consider the literal definition of literature, then technically. I get it. Look, I'll do whatever club activities you want. Can I please just join? I won't bother anyone. If I can just like keep my manga here and hang out after school, I'll do literally whatever you want me to do. That's fine, right? I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Oh my god, thank you. You're the best. I have most of it crammed into my locker, so I'm gonna start getting it, okay? Natsuki stands up. Need some help? Nah, I got it. I don't want you to see my locker. If you say so, but there's no way it's worse than mine. I hope we never find out then. Natsuki exits the club room, leaving everyone in silence save for the sound of Yuri sipping her tea. Yeah, there's a little bit of judging happening there from Monika, because manga are books. Manga is literature. Monika is a snob, and that is okay. Now, I stand with Natsuki on this one. As somebody else who grew up reading a lot of manga, it is still reading. Is it going to necessarily have like the same power as a full-blown book, per se, in teaching you like new words and reading comprehension and things like that? No, not as much, but it's still something. Reading manga is better than reading nothing. Such a pushover. Hey, it's not that bad. Natsuki seems like a lot of fun. Maybe, but I mean, she has like no actual interest in literature, you know? And that's normally fine, but she said she would participate in club activities like it's some kind of obligation. Your tea is going to get cold. Wait, that's not related. Well, I think everyone deserves a chance, especially if we can bring her happiness. Besides, maybe she'll take a liking to literature. Are you sure you don't just want to read her manga, Sarah? Hey, who do you think I am? Sorry, I didn't mean that. I just feel really uneasy about this. Do you have any opinion, Yuri? Not particular. She said she wasn't going to bother anyone. That includes me, so... Does that mean I bother you? No, you're a pleasure to be around. I was just fishing for a compliment. But still, I really think we should give her a chance. Yeah, alright. But I really am going to start enforcing club activities. I'm willing to cooperate. Suddenly 3 of them hear a thump against the door. What was that? Sari stands up and walks over to the door, then open it. Thank you. Carrying 3 boxes of what is presumably manga, Natsuki grunts and wobbles inside before slowly bending over and dropping the stack onto the floor as gently as she can. That's quite a collection. Sari giggles in excitement. While catching her breath, Natsuki replies, "There's still 1 more box. I can put them away myself. I know how to organize them." Monica anxiously glances between Sari and Yuri. Is this really okay for the club? Maybe it's what she needs to really kick the club into gear before everyone gets too complacent. Seems like things are finally going to start getting more serious. At the next club meeting, Monica is the first to arrive, but ever since Natsuki joined, she feels a lot less relaxed. Why am I so nervous? Monica paces, trying to figure out her feelings. Natsuki said she wasn't going to bother anyone, so why does it feel like the atmosphere has changed so much? While Monica thinks, the club door opens, revealing Natsuki carrying a box. Monica forces a smile as Natsuki makes her way to the closet. Natsuki forces one in return. Need help? No, I got it. Monica awkwardly tries to start some kind of conversation but fails. Curious, she peeks into the closet where Natsuki is stashing all her manga. Once dull with school supplies, the shelves are now vibrant with bright colors and cute-looking artwork. You know, the top shelf is pretty empty. Maybe we could keep it up there? I can't reach up there. That would be so inconvenient. Monica sighs. The teachers are going to ask what all this manga is doing in here, and I have to tell them it's for the literature club. Monica backs off and slumps into a desk. With this kind of tension, it feels like the relaxed atmosphere accumulated over the past few weeks is being sucked right out of the room. Good afternoon! Sarah spins into the classroom. Oh, I see someone's in a good mood. Yeah, because I have this. Sarah brandishes a cookie wrapped in plastic. I found some money and got a cookie. Oh, that's so pretty. As Sarah trots over to the closet, the colorful shells catch her eye. Which one do I start with? Well, you can start by giving me a bite of that cookie. No way. I saved up all my luck to find that money. If you want entry into my kingdom, you need to pay the tax, peasant. Boo. Defeated, Sarah unwraps the cookie and breaks off a piece for Natsuki. Then Yuri silently walks into the club room. Monica glances at her with pleading eyes. Yuri returns a quick nod of understanding. Well, everyone's here now. Despite the club only having 1 more person than before, it somehow feels twice as lively. Okay, so I think today we should go over some potential club activities and see which ones we want to do first. We have 4 members now, so it'd be great if we found some stuff to do as a group. Does that sound good to everyone? I agree. Okay, so I have some ideas of my own, but I want to hear your ideas too. I've been having a lot of fun learning about everyone else's interests. Maybe we can give each person a day to share their favorite kind of literature with everyone else? Maybe. Something tells me that Monica glances at Yuri and Natsuki as both appear very unwilling to even consider each other's interests. Maybe we can try to come up with something that everyone can enjoy equally. You know, like we all vote on a book to read or something like that. I think we should all collectively try to expand our interests rather than just stick to the things we're familiar with. Why does it feel like I'm being targeted here? Natsuki, did you say that you would go along with whatever the club wanted to do? Oh no, voting. Voting is never a good idea. You gotta vote either way though, like everyone's gotta agree on something. Well yeah, but that doesn't make it okay for you to ignore everyone else's preferences. I like Sayer's suggestion. Yeah, me too. Yeah, but... Monica's voice trails off. Although she let Natsuki join the club, Monica finds it incredibly difficult to relent to her demands. If Natsuki doesn't respect the club, why should Monica have to yield to Natsuki's opinion on anything? Natsuki, are you sure you don't have any other literature interests you could share with the club? I swear I don't mind if you keep your manga in here, but Natsuki cuts Monica off by suddenly standing up. Well, it's obvious that I'm not wanted here, so I'm just going to leave. But I really would have appreciated you being more upfront about it. Okay, I think you're kind of jumping to conclusions here, but you're free to do whatever you want. Natsuki shoots Monica a quick glare before walking straight out of the room. Oh no, Sarah runs after her, leaving just Monica and Yuri. For the second time today, Monica slumps down into a desk. Why am I such a jerk? No, she's a jerk. She's just making me feel this way. And both of you are being a little pig-headed. Monica looks up at Yuri, seeking affirmation. Yuri looks away. She probably just went around looking for the smallest clubs she can find so that she doesn't have to participate. How does she expect me to give her respect when she has no respect for the club? Am I wrong, Yuri? I'm not good at these things. Me neither. I just have no idea what to do. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I feel like it's not wrong to enforce the club vision. You know, like, people should join because they want to express their passion for literature, or at least develop it. So maybe she's not a good fit for the club after all. Monica sits silent, afraid to accept her tentative conclusion. Yuri looks tense, but she doesn't seem to want to add anything. You can go back to reading. I know this doesn't concern you. It does. It does how? Well, I just can't comfortably read in an atmosphere where the peace has been disturbed. Oh great, I'm just ruining the whole club then. That's not an accurate conclusion to make. I know, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of voicing my frustration, I guess guilt. It's like my frustrations want to blame her, but my guilt wants to blame me. Why is it the hardest to be rational during the times you need it most? I don't think you're being irrational. I think Natsuki is. She has no authority to walk in here and make demands to the club, your club. Something as ridiculous as manga has no place here. The fact that you're even storing it for her should make her completely indebted to you. See, I fully disagree with that. There's nothing wrong with manga. It is a form of literature. Just because, again, it's not as nuanced and as in-depth in certain regards as some other literature out there doesn't mean that it's not literature. Should Natsuki open up her horizons and check out some other stuff? Yes, but so should y'all. Well, you're right, but I don't know. Isn't it kind of harsh to say things like it's ridiculous and has no place here? Do you not feel the same way? You've been doing everything you can to avoid associating the club with it, so I assumed you felt the same way about it. That's not true. Well, recalling your confrontation with Natsuki, realization starts to set in. You may be right. I mean, if it was anything besides manga, would I really be acting like this? Maybe I've just been convincing myself that it has nothing to do with the manga. I'm really upset that I would let myself do that. With a sigh, Monica walks over to the closet. She finds herself staring at the colorful shelves. It's just, this really wasn't what I had in mind for the club about literature. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Monica starts defending her position once again. It's a complicated issue that Monica had failed to consider before now. Where is the line even drawn at what's considered literature? Lost in thought, she reaches into one of the larger box sets and pulls out a volume, inspecting it for no particular reason. The cover features 4 girls striking cute and exaggerated poses, all dressed in short skirts. I mean, amused by the absurdity of the cover, Monica opens the book. Okay, we got that one. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, before I show you this one, we still got like 5 minutes before the ad, but I'm just gonna take this chance to go grab an energy drink and get myself a little bit more awake. So I'm just gonna kick it in a little early, kind of have it go, and then we'll get back onto this. So we'll BRB, folks. I'm back. Alrighty, so this what puts us halfway after this one. I'll think about it. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Actually, wait. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So this one is the halfway point. This sucks. Why is Monica such a jerk? She should be grateful that I even joined her stupid club. It's not like she can find any members. Monica's usually really nice. She cares so much about everyone in the club being happy. Yeah, right. Well, she usually does. Maybe when she's not being so busy being so judgmental. So what if I'm into manga? Why can't just one person accept that instead of being so condescending about it? I accept it. I think it's cute. Well, come on, that's condescending too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just want to support you. Natsuki sighs. I know, thanks. It just really sucks. Do you want me to talk to Monica? I don't know. It's not like it's going to change her opinion of me. Like, even if you were to convince her to back off, that wouldn't suddenly make me feel like I'm actually welcome in the club. Welcome in the club. I would just find another club. Well, you don't have to do that. We can figure this out, please. I mean, I'm the vice president, or at least I think I am. And I don't want you to leave. Everyone deserves to feel welcome and to be happy, so I want to make that happen for you. I was wondering, what was the reason that you decided to join the literature club? Well, Natsuki hesitates. It's kind of dumb. There's no such thing as a dumb reason when everyone is welcome. I wasn't welcome. You were to me. So, just don't tell anyone, okay? Especially Monica. I promise. I'm just tired of everyone judging me all the time. I can't enjoy any of the stuff I'm into without people making snotty comments about it. Not that I care about what everyone else thinks, but you know, the signs for the literature club said that you can be yourself or whatever. So I decided it was at least worth a shot. But that was a lie, apparently. Natsuki dejectedly kicks the toe of her shoe against the wall. Oh, and I like writing too. Really? How come you didn't say that to Monica? Because she was being so judgmental that I didn't just want to tell her something she wanted to hear. She didn't deserve that kind of satisfaction. And if she knew I was into writing, then she would just be like everyone else and try to push me away from the manga in favor of the more mature thing. The two of them remain silent for a while. Sarah understands that it's out of the question for Natsuki to return to the club room for today at least. But Natsuki has a reason for wanting to join the club just like everyone else. It's part of the vision for her to be welcome. You deserve to express yourself as much as everyone else does. That's supposed to be what the club is for. So, I'm going to do everything I can to fix this. I promise. It's lunchtime the next day. The cafeteria and hallways are bustling with students rushing to meet with their friends and make the most out of their limited break time. Among them is Monica, who always eats lunch in the classroom, but she has some additional business today. Fearing Natsuki would avoid coming to the club, Monica decided to try to find her during lunch so that she could make amends. After searching for an extensive time, Monica finally spots her. Despite her short stature, Natsuki's bright hair helps her stand out from the crowd. Suddenly feeling awkward, Monica's afraid to get closer. Natsuki's with her friends, whom Monica doesn't recognize, and they're all energetically chatting together. It would be really tactless to just interrupt them. Well, did you end up joining that litter club or what? Of course I joined. Why wouldn't I? I told you she would join. Come on, you know she only joined because you wouldn't stop giving her crap about the anime club. I told you, I never even wanted to join that stupid club. Oh, sure. Well, you had to give her some credit for at least making an effort to finally grow past that trash. True. Well, congrats on finally graduating middle school, Natsuki. We're proud of you. Shut up. Just let me do my thing. Just joking. You know we love you. Yeah, once the literature club makes you a famous writer, we'll be the first ones to buy your book. What, you're gonna buy her smutty fanfic? Well, obviously, I wanted a signed copy. That was like years ago. You don't think I've grown out of it by now? I told you I was joking. Besides, it's a good reminder of how far you've come since then. Not to mention, you couldn't have done it without us. That gives us a pass to joke about it. Yeah, sure. They grow up so fast, it brings a tear to my eye. Natsuki suddenly glanced in Monica's direction, prompting Monica to quickly turn away and distance herself. That was horrible. I should have said something to defend her. Why do I have to be so conflict avoidant? Not that I deserve to say anything. I'm hardly better than them, after the way I treated her. I got so awful, I'm not doing anything right. After school ends, Monica distractedly makes her way to the club room. She finds Yuri already inside, eyes on a book as usual. Monica picks a desk and slumps into it, something she seems to be doing rather often lately. Yuri, I don't think I could be club president. I suck at handling anything that doesn't go, exactly my way. It's like the literature club is a place where you get to express yourself, unless it's in a way that I don't like. I'm so mad at myself. And I'm especially mad that I didn't have the self-reflection skills to realize what I was doing. So much for maturity. Sorry, I really shouldn't be complaining out loud like this. There's just, a lot on my mind. No, I enjoy listening. Really? Why? Your shrugs just makes me feel nice. Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll continue then. Natsuki has kind of a blunt attitude, you know? It made me feel like she wasn't taking the club seriously. I couldn't even figure out why she wanted to join. I saw her friends talking to her in the hallway during lunch, and they were just so mean to her. Telling her to grow up and stuff like that the literature club would help her grow out of her manga. It just made me so mad, just let her enjoy it. It makes her happy. Why are you trying to take that away from her? And when I had that thought, it was when I came to the realization that I was kind of doing the same thing, just in a roundabout way. I should have made her feel good about being passionate about something, but I just dismissed it. No, I was actually trying to avoid acknowledging it at all. I even did that to you, Yuri, when you first joined the club. You did? Yeah, I remember. Fantasy isn't really my thing, so I was kind of trying to dismiss it, but then Sari jumped in and took over the conversation. I should have reflected on that, but I didn't, because I just let Sari handle it instead. And now, I'm repeating the same mistake, except I really hurt someone this time. I'm so tired of being afraid of things I'm not comfortable with. It's so stupid. I can just picture how much joy it would bring Natsuki if I let her share her passion a little. I'm so angry that her friends were treating her like that. I'm going to get them back for it. Yeah. I'll get them back by making sure that this literature club that Natsuki wants, not the one that they want. Suddenly, Sari bursts through the door, making Monica and Yuri jump. With a rare, stern face, she marches over to Monica's desk and sits down next to her. I'm having an intervention. I can do that because I'm vice president. Is this about Natsuki? Yes. Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm super sorry. I was just talking to Yuri about it. Really? I was so dismissive of her passion that she felt threatened and probably just unwelcome. Literally the opposite of what the literature club is supposed to be. I really need to make it up to her. Thanks for the intervention, Sari. I'm glad we're on the same page. She did it all right. Friendship wins again. So how do you want to make it up to her? I have a plan. Sari, do you know if Natsuki is coming to the club meeting today? I don't think she is. I see. Monica was afraid of that. Not because of her plan, but because she's facing the consequences of the damage that she's inadvertently caused. Well, the only way to do the right thing is to face it head on. It's so easy to just duck away from conflict and wait for it to blow over, but that's not enough. To truly respect someone's feelings after you've hurt them is to face them and admit your wrongdoing. Not the wrongdoing of mismanaging the club, but the wrongdoing of disrespecting Natsuki's feelings. Okay, do you think you can get her to come to the meeting tomorrow? I can do that. Okay, awesome. Yuri, you don't have to worry about anything, but thank you for being my friend. You're a good listener. Fidgeting with her hair, Yuri turns away to hide a smile. Well, I guess for today, it's going to be a pretty quiet club meeting. I'm going to step out for a bit. Is that okay? Yeah, I'm just going to read with Yuri. Hey, is this one of Natsuki's books? How come it's out here? Sari picks up a manga that was resting on an adjacent desk. Oh, that? Natsuki probably just left it out by accident. But I thought she hasn't been coming to the club. Actually, Monica's been... Okay, Yuri, I'm sure it was just someone else who was using this classroom then, okay? Monica smiles at them both. Then with a wave, she exits the club room. Hey now, you can admit that you were reading it. I really shouldn't have left that out. If Sari catches on, she'll definitely tell Natsuki, and that would get really awkward. Now, I wonder if there's a keyboard I can borrow from the music room. The time for the next club meeting has arrived. Monica and Yuri are the first to arrive. So worried. Do you think Sari is going to be able to bring Natsuki? Yes. How do you know that? Well, she's Sari. You know, you're right. Monica sits and stands up and paces around and sits again. Yuri's eyes don't move from her book. Then the door finally opens. Sari marches inside. Behind her, Natsuki shuffles inside, nervously looking around the room. We're here. Welcome back. Monica, the club president, stands up and greets him with a smile. Sari picks a desk and takes a seat. Natsuki sits closely next to her. Looking back and forth between the club members, Monica is struck with a nostalgic feeling. She would stand in the front of the club room just like this, struggling to picture just who may eventually be sitting before her. But imagination was never enough to predict just how unique and diverse each member would be. Each with her own struggles, her own reasons for seeking the vision that Monica had admittedly so vaguely advertised. Seeking trust, understanding, respect. What new lessons will the future hold for the literature club? Realizing she's getting ahead of herself, Monica takes a deep breath and returns to the present. Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. We have an activity planned for today. Monica turns around to face the chalkboard. On it, she writes manga in big letters. Today we're going to learn about an expert. We're going to learn from an expert about a unique form of literature, manga. Is this kind of forced? I know you don't actually want to do this. Just Monica shakes her head. Natsuki, this is the hardest part. After making it this far, it would be so easy to just smile and move on. But that's not enough. Not this time. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me not to take you seriously when you were kind enough to show interest in my club. I thought about it, and I realized how biased I was against manga. It caused me to disrespect you, and I'm sorry. But I think you deserve to be able to share your passion with us. So, can I make it up to you? Well, thanks, but I know you're only doing this because Saria told you to. Wait, that's not true. Monica planned this all by herself. I didn't even get a chance to talk to her. I was witness to that as well. This is the Literature Club. The Literature Club is a place where everyone gets to be themselves. We all have our own interests and our differences. It's my vision to let us freely express that. And it's my goal to respect everyone for them. So I just want to learn about the things that make you happy. I think you deserve to share that joy as much as everyone else does. Is that okay? Natsuki looks away and hesitates, but it's really dumb, the stuff I'm into. Monica smiles. She kneels in front of Natsuki's desk, looking her straight in the eye. If you like it, then it's not dumb. Oh, except for me. Sorry, you're not dumb either. The heck? You guys are so weird. Fine, I'll show you some of my manga, only because you admitted that it's literature after all. Oh yeah, I didn't say this before, but I'm actually into writing too. I'm kind of a pro. But I didn't want you to like me just for that. Oh, really? I really did have you all wrong, Natsuki. Yeah, whatever. Today's not about that anyway. It's about manga, so I hope you're ready. Aww, how sweet. A week has passed since Natsuki returned to the Literature Club. Since then, the club activities have been in full swing. Each member has received a day in the spotlight to share all their favorite kinds of literatures with each other. And then she killed them all. Yeah. She learned all about their interests, their hobbies. She took that information in and then went, cool, you're all useless now. I'm going to kill you off one by one. Except for Natsuki. Actually, Natsuki never dies. She just gets deleted. You could count that as dying, but like the others are a little bit more violent. As another meeting draws to a close, Monica approaches Natsuki on the way. Because I did actually find out that no matter what route you take, if you focus Yuri or you focus Natsuki, it still ends the same way with Yuri stabbing herself. As another meeting draws to a close, Monica approaches Natsuki on the way out. Natsuki, are you in a hurry home or anything? Me? Not particularly. Why? Well, there was something that I wanted to show you if you had a few minutes. Sure, what is it? It's not hidden here. Can you follow me to the music room? Why? Well, you'll see. Okay, sorry, I've been picking at the lid here with one hand and it hasn't popped off, and now my brain's like, just get it to work. Oh, there, okay. Now my brain can stop focusing on that. You know, I was thinking back, when the club was just me and Sari, we would talk about how we envisioned the club to turn out. We cared a lot about it being a place where people could express themselves. And she said something strange to me. She said that I was trying to make the club that I needed myself more than anyone else. Or more than anyone. But I think it wasn't until you joined that I fully understood that. Because you really taught me a lot about myself. Like, things that I was probably always too stubborn to admit. Oh, come on, you can't mean that. I didn't even do anything. I just, brought a bunch of manga, and then I got fussy when I didn't have my way. It was really stupid of me to make such a big deal out of it. No, I honestly needed it. If you didn't express that you were hurt, I would never have realized that I did something wrong. Besides, your feelings are valid. They deserve to be heard and respected. It's just really hard to feel that way sometimes. You know, I really shouldn't care about what other people think in the first place. But when you're just criticized by everyone around you for being a certain way, it can get really hard to brush it off. And it makes me start to feel like I'm the problem. Like I'm not doing enough to please everyone. Am I being too entitled if I just want people to like me without me having to hide a bunch of stuff about myself? I don't think I am. I just wish that sometimes people would try to appreciate me for who I actually am. As Monica listens, she recalls vividly how Natsuki's friends were treating her, and how naturally they did so. How long has she been fighting against that, refusing to change for others? I could only wish I was as strong as you, Natsuki. You're so honest with yourself. I'm always trying to come off as perfect for other people. Anytime there's a hint of contention, I just crumble. But it's thanks to you that I really started thinking about that stuff. You really inspired me to start working on it. Like I said, I didn't even do anything. You were just being yourself. That's all you needed to do. Also, there's something else. Monica takes a breath. The thing is, I might have read a little bit of your manga. Well, you? What the heck? Why did you tell me? I'm sorry, I think I just felt like kind of embarrassed to admit it, after I gave you such a hard time about it. Can't believe you, of all people, were reading manga behind my back. That's so funny. Yeah, well, I just flipped through one of them out of curiosity, but I ended up reading a whole bunch of it. But I mean, one of the characters was in a literature club. What are the chances, right? You were reading Parfait Girls? Wow, you have good taste. Just one volume, and I kind of just picked it out randomly. Well, you have good intuition then. You have to tell me all your favorite parts. Well, I think it was some kind of weird fate, because the character isn't just in a literature club. She also plays a piano. It's just weird because I've always wanted to learn piano. She was like the perfect person that I always wish I was, if I just did what I wanted instead of always second guessing myself. Monica walks over to the piano and sits down. I always felt like I should only share the absolute best parts of myself, the parts that will impress people or make them like me more. But after you joined the club, I realized how self-destructive that mentality is. We share things because we want to express ourselves. Sharing experiences allows us to share emotions. And I just felt like I wanted to show you this, because if it wasn't for you, I never would have started playing. Hey, I think the credit for that one goes to Parfait Girls, not me. Well, maybe it's true that Parfait Girls put that thought into my head, but it was still you who inspired me to keep practicing every day. Because, you just make me feel like I want to do something. I should just do it. I mean, I still haven't been practicing for very long, and I'm not really good at it yet, like at all, but I wrote a song for the club, and I worked really, really hard on it. It doesn't have any words or anything, but, well, yeah. While this is going on, also a reminder, because I just remembered, there is a 6-day weekend coming up, starting Friday till Wednesday, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah. So this coming Friday till the Wednesday after, I have no work. So we're going to be doing a lot of Yakuza. And I'm back. It's part 2, basically happy endings. It's all just been interpersonal relationship stuff. There's been a lot of, we dealt with some of Sayuri's depression and anxiety. We've dealt with Monica's perfectionism and judging of other people. We've been going into some of Yuri's self-loathing, I guess would be the best way to put it. So there's been nothing dark, just a lot of learning about the characters. Underneath the cheery overtones, you can hear the bittersweet quality of "I murdered my friends." Yeah, no scary blood or gore or anything like that. The most we've gotten is just people crying. It's felt like a proper dating Sims, just without the dating aspect. That was so good. It was? Yeah, are you kidding? You're already a pro. Not even close. Does the song have a name? He said it was about the club, so yeah, it's called My Song, Your Note, because everyone brings something so unique to the club. It's completely different from how I first imagined it, I think, but I was such a selfish perfectionist. It shouldn't be about me, it should be about everyone. And it's all of you who helped shape the club into what it is. I would never change that. Well, I think that's really thoughtful. And kind of flattering. I kind of like that I don't deserve this much validation. I wasn't exactly patient either when I first joined the club. Makes me feel like I should probably apologize too. I think I was just really fed up with a lot of things, and I got frustrated after not getting my way in the club. So yeah, I really didn't mean to take it out on you. I was being really immature, If you get my stubborn butt to apologize, I guess you're doing something right. It's fine. I'm past it too. I think we're already even. But it's really sweet that you think you were thinking about it. It takes a lot of maturity to reflect on that kind of thing. Crying? That's the worst of them all. Okay, I'll go back to Yuri stabbing herself. That's fine. Well, I wonder who I got it from. Oh, never mind. Well, anyway, we're not even as long as... Wait. We're even as long as you let me keep my manga in the club room. You did admit that's formal literature. You totally can't take that back now. You got me. The closet's all yours. I'll tell you what. I'll bring in a little something for the club tomorrow. I want to do something nice in return. What kind of little something? Oh, you'll see. But I don't think you'll be disappointed. Bum, 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 bum. Ends up as a particularly tasty one. No mail for this one. Okay, we now got the colored version. Monica making notes. Also, the art for this is really nice. My song, Your Note, Piano. Okay, we're down to 6 more. So, Natsuki and Sayori, Yuri and Monica, and then, ooh, Self-Love is going to be, that's probably going to be rough. Natsuki and Yuri. Natsuki. While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Sayori approaches from behind and pulls her into an embrace. What? Hi. Hi. Literature Club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined. Including her, the club is now composed of 4 members. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. Each club member has received a day in the spotlight to share all their favorite kinds of literature with each other. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga. Then Sayori shared her love for poetry, as well as how she goes about writing it herself. Monica, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. And finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with a little help and encouragement from Sayori. After the week was spent on their presentations, Monica decided to give the club members this next week to freely explore each other's literary interests. Sayori, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection. I want to read with you today. Tell me which one I should pick. Well, that depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery. I like all those things. Sayori reaches out and pulls a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? You wouldn't like that one. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Sayori's hand and replaces it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. Okay, well, if you really have no preference, then let's just start with something that's easy to get into. A lot of these don't start to get really good until a few volumes in, and I wouldn't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already really into manga. Also, Natsuki, if that's not a book that you think that she'd be into, maybe you shouldn't bring those types of books to school. You should take those ones home. I could handle it. I did it with Yuri's book at least. Well, I'm more considerate than that, although I'm kind of impressed by your attention span if you put that much effort into her books. No, I have the attention span of a donut. But I love my friends, and I can do anything if it's for them. The youth are already corrupt, true. Also, how much of attention span does a donut have? A lot? A little? Well, okay then. Let's pick you something that even donuts can read. I didn't say it was a donut, I just said I had the attention span of one. Are you just trying to call me sweet? You're so cute. None at all, yeah. How did you get that conclusion? And don't call me that. A donut? Cute. How come? I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks a book from the shelf and closes the closet door. If someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that. I'm sorry, I didn't really mean to hurt you. Nah, sorry, it wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while pulling a second chair over to her desk. I was talking about something else. I didn't mean to get angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you. Still learned a valuable lesson. Sayori speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment. Well, anyway, here's the book, so just start it whenever you feel like it. What's it about? Well, it's like a comedy, and there's romance too, obviously. Sayori looks at the title. It's called Love is Another Word for Luck. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally running into the same guys, and then you find out, you should just read it. But you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess who you're gonna ship yourself with. It would be so funny if I'm right. Ship? I don't get it. Never mind. Let's not worry about that. Just make sure you tell me what you think. Okay? I'll start then. And maybe tomorrow we can do poetry too. But you don't want to finish this first? Yeah, but we can do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you or anything. No, it's just, well, never mind. We can worry about it tomorrow. After the club meeting ends, and Natsuki and Yuri leave, Monika strikes up a conversation with Sayuri. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I could just listen to her talk. She's so... I'm not sure if she meant I can't say that to her, or if I just can't say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I'm a woman of respect. But Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, I said it. Oh, what's so bad about that? I don't know. But it's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much. Oh, that's ridiculous. How can you feel that way? Well, I mean, just little signs like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me when it's about manga and other stuff she likes. She just seems so dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought up poetry. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, Maybe. My stupid head is just making me worry for no reason. It's like I do that. It's okay. Try not to worry so much. Everything will be great. You can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help. You're the best. Sayuri gives Monika a quick hug. Well, I'm gonna keep trying because I love her and I want to get close to her. You got this. After the next club meeting starts, Sayuri is the last one in as usual. Trotting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet, reading what must be manga. That doesn't mean she doesn't like you. It does. No, but it doesn't, man. She just maybe doesn't like the same interests. And Natsuki, she's a tsundere, so she's always going to say that she doesn't like the same things that you like. So you can't take that as being fact. Without hesitation, Sayuri pulls up a chair and plops herself down right next to Natsuki. Hello there. Hi. What you reading? Can I read it with you? Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayuri. Can't just start in the middle. There are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry, I was just curious. Well, anyways, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out, and it just came out yesterday, so... Oh, that's exciting. Well, I'll let you read it then. Can I sit next to you, though? Sure. Burn this one today. Sayuri plops herself down next to Natsuki, and then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of a page being released from beneath her thumb. From Sayuri's side, only the light tapping noises of her pen meeting the paper can be heard. Time passes. Sayuri's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are lined with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? No, but it's a good stopping point. My head is swimming. I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored? No, I was writing. Oh, I saw the stick figures. Thought you were just bored. I just draw those when I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. This one is sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctor can't figure out what's wrong with him. What the heck? You're the weirdo. Want to read the poem I'm working on? Sure. Sayuri slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads through the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back over to Sayuri. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all your thoughts and feelings like that? I mean, your poems are, really emotional. Is that bad? Well, no, it's just an observation. I think people can get closer to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings. Natsuki begins to protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't that depend more on the kind of friends you have? To each their own, but I've never met anyone I'd feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you, it's just how I am, so... You write poems? Never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, that too, but you should. I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. Can we talk about something else? I'm sorry. It's not your fault, it just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it. Still, I'm sorry. It's fine. Let's move on to something that makes both of us happy. I should continue the book you gave me since I didn't get very far yet. Over the next few days, Sayuri begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with an unwavering enthusiasm. It's Natsuki. Natsuki. Hi, Natsuki. At the end of one club meeting, Monika, who has become rather invested in Sayuri's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. It's cool that you've been finding more time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited for the chance to read manga with you. Ooh, bless me. I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too. Yeah, mostly. Natsuki glances over her shoulder but doesn't reply further. What's on your mind? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Thank you both. Natsuki falls silent, but she just fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing, as though she wants to say more. It's okay to share your feelings. That's different from talking about someone behind their back. I guess. I just hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I'm better than to do it to others. Monica shares a bright smile. You're really considerate. Thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Natsuki stands in silence for a moment, still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. I'm not used to someone being like all over me right after we meet. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them and like share everything about myself. That's not how it works. I just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. It's fine, why would you have? I know, I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Monica navigates through a twinge of guilt, which has surfaced mainly due to her being the one who previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible. Do you want to talk to her about it? No, I wouldn't like that. Well, I don't know, I could divert her into another club activity for you or something. No way, that would be so underhanded and mean. Sorry, I didn't think that one through. Besides, just because I complain about it doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problems for me. True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to solve problems, even if it hasn't been invited to. It's fine. I would talk to Sayori about it, but it would make things really weird between us. I feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. I don't know how to just keep things natural. Well, I think you do a good job expressing all your feelings. She would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best she can for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendships with her. Maybe. I just feel so dumb talking to someone about how to be friends with them. It's just weird and not cool. It's a literature club. And she mumbles through a stifled laugh. It's not the cool club. Hey, sorry, that just tickled me for some reason. Look, I know you're kind of in a tough spot and that it's hard for you to really express yourself, but you've really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things, so I believe that you'll find the right thing to do. Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but she can't find any excuse to do so. Thanks. Natsuki gathers things and then finishes her thought in a mumble. And I'm still glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew what she meant. It made Monica feel like everything really was going to be okay. Aww. It'll be okay for a few weeks. Simply put, it's not our job to arbitrarily decide upon some code of ethics just because we're the first ones to do this, to our knowledge. That's the government's job to figure out, long after we've made enough headway for it to no longer apply to us. It's fundamentally flawed to apply ethical reasoning to this anyways, because humanity's code of ethics is based upon nothing more than our knowledge and understanding of life forms similar to ourselves. We don't have ethics for killing bacteria or plants, only the creatures that we can convincingly project our emotions onto. The humans in our VMs operate completely differently from us on a fundamental level, and therefore should not be taken any more seriously than a machine that's programmed to print "I feel sad." We're engineers, not philosophers. Yeah, but if you found out that the AI that you're currently controlling actually has feelings and emotions, would you not change your opinion on that? Alright, part 2! It's lunchtime. Sarah, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. The clamor and bustle of the students is drowned by Sarah's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki. Oh, actually, I wasn't paying attention. Who was... Oh, this was part 2, so we're just continuing Natsuki and Sayori. Never mind, yeah. People would just make AI suffer more if people found out that they were capable of genuine suffering. True. I never run into the other club members around the school. Natsuki. Sayori stands there, tiptoes away. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayori at all, or at first. Then she glances over in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. Following friends, Natsuko quickly ducks around the corner. Hey, she definitely saw me. Monika is the first to arrive to the club meeting, then Natsuki. Sayori, having glanced through the window to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work up enough courage to enter. Natsuki's been so distant with me. I was stupid to think she ever wanted to be friends. She only got excited because she got to share a manga. And aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today. Sorry, but do you plan on going inside? No. Why? I'm sulking. Oh. Well, I'm sorry for bothering you. Excuse me. No, don't leave me. I'll stay here then. I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today, so I waved and called out to her, but instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Really? Not bad. Hey. Sorry. I'm sorry. That was a joke. It just sounded like something stupid that I would do from anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. That makes sense based on the person you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. I thought we were friends. But it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself from me, or just distance herself more instead of getting closer. It makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga, but she doesn't actually want to be friends with me. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? She was just walking with her friends. With her friends. Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? Sarah, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them. Of course, I don't think there's anything more important to me. I mean, the best parts of my day are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone, so... You hate being alone? Sayori nods. We're very different people. I cherish my alone time. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think... Well, if I was trying to have alone time and it was being threatened with an interruption, then it just would not make me very happy. Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. No, I think it's similar. Well, we're all friends in the club, but we have our own lives outside of the clubs as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together. But the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. There are friends who just like to have fun together, and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of the other person. I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside of the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. That means I was really bothering her. I just really wanted to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. Was it actually hurting her? I don't know. I'm sorry. My insight was really only based on what I understand about my own needs. And Natsuki and I are completely different. So, why was I so selfish? Even if all that is true, then it still means I hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was becoming friends with you. But I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she already seemed really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her, and she doesn't want to talk to me. How could I let myself do this? Sayori? I think that, well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario, but I think it's more likely that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we're to realistically consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. You're a lot better than me at things like comforting and reassuring people. Hey, you're doing good, Yuri. You're getting there. Counterpoint. Natsuki's friends suck and Sayori is precious prior to her complete and entirely avoidable mental breakdown. Fair. But yeah, Natsuki's friends are a little bit of a... Get some new friends. Suddenly, Sayori gives Yuri a gentle hug. You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart. It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others, and my friends deserve happiness. I think I'm going to give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. And if she does still want to be friends, then I'll learn her needs and I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's the best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. It makes me feel desperate, like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. That's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that. It hurts, but I guess it means I still need to grow. I want to grow as a person. If it's to be better for my friends, I want that. That's very mature of you, sir. I'm mature. Sayori hops up and down on her toes. So does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head. I need to be here to show her that I respect her space. I'll just spend the club by myself today. Yuri nods in understanding. You can go in first. Okay. You're blocking the door. Oh, Sayuri steps aside. By the way, before Yuri enters the club room, Sayuri interjects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayuri, that's absurd. You're very, very silly sometimes. The club room is quiet. When Sayuri walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayuri smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Sayuri decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her and is tapping a pen against her desk, staring at it. Oh, are we writing today? Monika speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the club room. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey. Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to herself and covers it with her arms. Sorry, didn't mean to peek. Whatever. Just wanted to see how everything was going. It's fine. Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayuri, who is focused on her manga. Monika follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. Come, I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back at her paper. She inclines her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monika to see. It says, to Sayuri. Understanding, Monika smiles. She places a hand on Natsuki's shoulder and whispers softly, I'm proud of you. Natsuki looks away, but makes no motion to remove Monika's hand. Monika gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. The end of the club meeting passes. Yuri has already departed, so has Monika after checking on Sayuri and Natsuki to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayuri was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a silent tension hangs in the air. After finishing the volume, Sayuri brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides it back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then Natsuki gets up, pulls it back out in order to return it to its proper location. Sorry, I didn't know where we were supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayuri turns away to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wanted to be friends, this was it. Defeated, Sayuri carries herself out of the clubroom. Once in the hallway, Sayuri takes a deep breath and hits her palm against her cheeks to clear her head a little. Suddenly, Natsuki's stammering voice calls from behind. Startled, Sayuri turns back around to face Natsuki. Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaking voice. I have a lot of things to say. Me too, but you go first. Natsuki bites her lips and can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts herself short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. I'm sorry for the thing I did at lunch, and I'm sorry for just being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable. Especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, face burning, Natsuki clams up again. Instead of continuing, she simply holds up a sheet of paper for Sayuri to take. The best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All my dreams are born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break at the slightest touch, but it's still the best place in the world. But when someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against the loose hinges. Please don't break. Don't come in. I'm not ready. It's my best place in the world. The knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole, and I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do and I'm scared. I'm not ready. But it's still my favorite place. I still want to share it. However long it takes, if you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door. I'll show you the best place in the world. That's actually, I like that one a lot. It's a poem. But I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could work things out with you. So just be happy with it, please. Sayuri smiles deeply from the bottom of her heart. I'm happier than I could express. I feel so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I'd made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get closer to you that I forgot to think about what you wanted. And that we probably have different ways we like to make friends. About the friendship stuff. I mean, it's okay. I understand, so you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job, so don't force yourself if you're not ready yet, okay? You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault and I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you space. I was thinking it's silly that I just approach you all the time and that I should just let you approach me when you want to. Natsuki still has the communication skills of a donut. She does. She's trying though. She's trying. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I'll respect that from now on. Friendships should always start with those things. With the right balance. Natsuki nods again. One thing about that. Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced, like you said. I understand. We'll make sure that together then. Well, anyway, now the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not going to be like sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to do it once in a while, only the best ones. So you better like them, because otherwise I might change my mind. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying. More importantly, I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. Huh? Oh, from the manga. Wait, I need to guess who it is. You definitely won't be able to guess. The two of them walk down the hallway together. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn, I should have told you to save the last 2 chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. Ah, you want to enjoy it with me. That's so cute. Oh, shush. Aw, how sweet. And a new poem for there. Oh yeah, 2 new poems. Wait, no, what? I don't actually remember that one. At the rate this is going, I don't know if we're actually going to unlock all the photos. I might have to go online and look up a few. These ones I think are random. I think you just have to kind of play through the game and hope that they pop up. But like, I don't know if there's 4 more of these. Unless we get, by completing all of them, we unlock, because we have what, 2, 3 more? So maybe by completing all of them, we unlock an extra one. This will probably be finished. There's only 2 more, so there's probably a couple more poems that we'll get. Oh, is there 4 more? Oh, I thought there was only 3 more. And then yeah, we'll unlock this. So yeah, it's mainly, I think, just these. We might get this one because we unlocked this one through this. We'll probably get that. These ones I'm not sure about. These 2 here. These most of these are unlocked from the main game, so I might have to do some more to get those. And then these ones were all by doing specific things, so I'm not sure about those ones. We just finished balance and they came in pairs, so there's 2 more split into 2, which makes 4. True, yeah, sorry, I was thinking about it as pairs. Yeah. So reflection and self-love. Here we go. Am I bothering you? No? Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into what you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work. So it can be healthy to put myself into a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. See, I fucking relate with Yuri so much in that regard. I am not a social butterfly. I've gotten better at it, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of situations now that I do put myself out there more and try to be that social butterfly, but I would much rather someone come talk to me and I'll just listen and throw in a little bit of tidbits every now and then. It's why I love group conversations, because everybody else can talk and I can just be like, yeah, I agree with that. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch a piece of cookie that Natsuki has lobbed into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookie. What a waste. They're really good friends. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Just a second. bum, bum, bum. Okay, yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though that may be partly my fault since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. What about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? Bless you, person. That was John. I just read. Oh? But I like it that way. Feels nice to be carried off again after a morning off classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently. Sorry, hiccups. But only because I'm in the middle of the series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even like romance? Well, there's a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do. Maybe. More when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely. People were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like, nah, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it's just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. Like that. I'm like that for things in my past too, you know? Things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. Nothing wrong with growing out of things, it happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. Makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking about me? Oh, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? A couple years ago, I guess? I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really good at going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monica. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so it's so cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know it. What the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so I can say I've read more than you. Not that I had the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours, it's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. Not boring. Jealous it for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. It's just, I just think it's too convoluted. Sorry, are those from the floor? Gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. My hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. So Yuri trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly, she was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her, I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me, so how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? Says the person who also pretty much said that everything she was doing was a little childish and she would grow out of. I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like, especially in a literature club. So I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary, I just wish to be respected. That then. Either way, I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Again, it's a two-way street there, Yuri. You can't demand respect and not give it. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. But it also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. When does this turn into Monster Prom? Dibs on Damien, Zoe, and Callister? Never. Counterpoint, Natsuki has had blow-ups with literally everyone. Yes, and all this is still counted towards Natsuki as well, but everything we say at Natsuki should also be said towards everybody else. You have to respect each other, not one-sided respect. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused of something. No, not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences and opinions a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. So, bam, what the fuck is that? Oh, meanie? Okay, wait, is it holding a gun? Is that what it is? No. Others must respect me. I don't need them to. I don't need to respect them unless they've had a friendship cookie. Gotcha. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thoughts. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversations, basically anything. For example, Sari, what's your favorite food? I have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks, or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh geez, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy, cherries. Fuck yeah. Let's go, Sari, cherries are the best. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Wow, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know, sad? Defensive maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt that your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sarah's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. But hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of cherries, not your feelings about them. Like, Sari, let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. So what if instead I said, like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine, as long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about cherries, I just talked about my feelings and Sari didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not going to quiz you or something. I know that. I was just... Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help you turn differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Sari? Whatever you say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Sari, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. I'm sorry, Sari. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You're welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Well, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. That was, I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try to find something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences and opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, no. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. I'm just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga's for children or something, like I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life. I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki, nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about, this is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What, have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all my interest immature. Please stop, please. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. And we haven't even gotten into the Natsuki and Yuri stuff yet. This is, whose is this? This is still Sayuri and Natsuki, isn't it? Oh, God. Also, we got about 20 seconds till the ad kicks in, so I'm going to pop that on now. We'll see y'all in 3 minutes. Monica and Yuri sounds right. Thank you, Band. I think that's correct. Alrighty, for Yakuza game, there's a lot of dating sim characteristics. I know, man. It's a crazy Yakuza game. Yakuza Literature Club Plus. I thank you, Ben. Alright, let's just be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did, so please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words sends the club into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap, I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you're actually you actually look down on other people for it. It's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you're trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her, not just the way we talk to each other, right? Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out, because I can just move on now. It's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga whenever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. Yeah, this issue doesn't get solved, though. As we saw from the base game, Yuri still has a prejudice against the manga aspect, and Natsuki still has a prejudice against larger books with deeper meanings. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This is bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is a reason. As Sayuri and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayuri doesn't either. You do need to remember, though, that not everybody's going to get along with each other. There are some people that aren't going to be friends in certain types of ways. So yes, that is something you do need to accept. But in a club experience, you would hope that there'd be enough common ground that even if you don't necessarily call each other like close friends, that there's enough of a friendship there to have something going on. It just very much seems Yuri and Natsuki are on kind of complete opposite ends of their interests, which kind of has them butt heads a little bit. We don't want to hurt each other. Cut to Yuri's corpse 3 days old and with a knife through her ribcage. Yeah. But they didn't hurt each other. She just hurt herself. But for once, the solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Oh, that's the end of that one. Mail. Has anyone evaluated the side effects that might be caused by sharing a memory pool between multiple VMs rather than allocating them separately? I'm looking at some of the files VM1 is generating, and I'm finding some information that definitely shouldn't be there. I haven't seen any evidence that this is actually affecting the inside of the VM itself, so I don't think this is a priority, but it's definitely worth noting. My best guess is that memory being fed from VM2 isn't getting zeroed, which technically gives VM1 access to it. All the info I have will go into the issue tracker, but I wanted to check if anyone else noticed something along these lines. And no new pictures. Alrighty, reflection. A new day arrives. Sarah arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still, so she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sarah has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship sailed away. Yo, yeah, Natsuki? Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you, but it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I doubt you want me to listen in on your poetry thing. Thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish up? Oh no, it wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Oh, why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... geez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while, but as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyways. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty, and I hate that too. It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe this will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about manga? Maybe, I doubt it though, because my friends and the other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me or manga or whatever, but Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. Everyone deserves a chance. Exactly. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? After this? Obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. But you know, I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Seriously, shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover. It's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. And I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like, first it was with Monica, when I was new to the club, and then it was with you, and now it's Yuri. I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk, and if they just realize that, then we could get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everyone's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Sayuri puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways that they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it hard for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication. And it feels like you're magically connecting with them. Because she completely denies her own self in favor of trying to seek validation and approval of others, and then she dies. Yeah, Sayuri is a blank canvas that likes to fill it with her friends' emotions and her friends' needs and wants, while keeping her own canvas in the background slowly deteriorating. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or to get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles a lot with too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of reflection and self-awareness and vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, and Sayuri now pulling out the what's the word I'm looking for? It's a job. It's a thing that all of them need. Therapist. She's pulling out her therapist side. How does that make you feel? Why do you do that? It sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad, when I don't get good grades or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. So what am I going to do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong, if there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and I find ways to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. Our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about ourselves. That's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person, because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. that she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase, and that I'm just way above the garbage. But I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. Yeah, you are not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself out loud. I'm not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house, and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other for the most of the time, you're gonna run into each other every now and then, and it's gonna make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You could communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with, called depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. I am not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. Oh, you little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayuri's kind reassurances, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No. It wasn't as though she was inflicting a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Yeah, wasn't this one supposed to be about Monica and Yuri? Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair of me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time I won't try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on. That's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second and then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns, and I can't get away from them. What kinds of negative thought patterns? Like, everyone hates me, especially Natsuki. That's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity from Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. But that means the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, I just... Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs at her hair. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place, because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind, so I did, and then she hated me anyways. That was enough to confirm my fears. But sorry, and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior, despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. And my feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri, feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. That doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like there's something I learned around when I first started the club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things. Or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I could never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. And so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri, I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They don't come natural to me either. It's really hard to reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. But I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. We're fragile and unstable, especially Yuri. Especially when, Monica has control over the systems and it can make her even more unstable. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Yuri must be rubbing off on me because I really want to hug you now. Actually, I'm a little curious when, and maybe we'll learn this as we complete the other side stories, I don't know. But when does Monica get self-awareness? Because right now, it genuinely feels like she is just another person in this game that doesn't know what's going on. So I'm curious to know when that kind of clicks in. And I know from the emails, it seems like there are certain things that have already clicked in and that are happening, but I don't know if those emails are coinciding with the side stories or if that's something else. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. No, I mean, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle. And I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. And I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter? What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me, and I forget to say all the important things, and I say things I don't mean. If Monica is VM1 and Sayuri is VM2, then it seems like we're only in the first steps of it happening. Yeah. Also, what is VM supposed to stand for? Anyone know? I was trying to think of something that would deal with visual novels, but it wasn't quite fitting in that regard. Virtual machine, that makes sense. Yeah. That could be the case. Okay. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayuri. My personality just isn't suited for that, and I wouldn't want it to be. But something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I would never have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayuri. We're opposite in a lot of ways, but I'm friends with her because she put so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. Now, there's a type of person or a magical formula I had to follow in order to make somebody like me. And that's just like me to think that, always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Friendship happens when you think about the other person, when you offer time and effort to understand them, and respect them and trust that they always want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observations in the literature club. Observations? Monica's caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talk about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. So Yuri too, and it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. It's true, Sayuri and Monica are naturally more comfortable with other people. It can more easily work through situations on conflict, but that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses. The capacity is to improve, and the first steps towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It's something that Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monica can recognize as an incredible talent, her trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. So are we going to get to see this resolution, or is the last one going to be the resolution of the two of them? A very shy girl with long, pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fist pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monica is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, this was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monica glances toward the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me. What, is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness, I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monica briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. Do you want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything. 1 second. Monica trots back into her classroom. Says something like, I gotta go to her friends, and grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monica as the two of them set off. How are you today? Me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, sorry, I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? Oh no, I'm just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too, I do that too. Hey, the classroom empty, let's go in here. After appearing inside, Monica opens the classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monica pulls 2 chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monica beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is for you to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Yeah. Now I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyway, how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her? I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. It's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? And I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a long moment, her attention evident. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sarah and Monica. I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. Same goes for Natsuki too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive. I like when people respond positively to things I talk about and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like it when you and Sarah trust that I want to be a good person even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay? I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable. So we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for structure? Could be 3 paragraphs, 1 for each on those points. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spend so much time reflecting, being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze, but as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri's curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. For a while, they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday, you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, and that they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people rather than as significant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you feel about Natsuki? Yuri nods, but in reality, everyone is always trying their best, and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, practically covering it with her arm. I had to be able to read it to help you out, you know? It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I'd really prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. I'm kind of glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage. but it's also been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but I will always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. Still can't tell what to tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. Yuri glanced at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will we be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably, but I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stand up. I'll message you when it's ready. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod and the two depart. Yeah, I figured the last one for the two of them would just be about figuring out the issue. The issue is that it's 2 parts, though. So is this note going to go poorly? And we still have 3 of these. Okay, finish off the backgrounds. Down to the last 2, though. Self-love. It's only been 1 day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. I would guess 1 from part 1 and then 2 from part 2. Or 1 from the entire thing and then maybe you just unlock extra stuff by completing all of the side stories. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students were making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because the staircase is under maintenance, no student would have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. And, of course, there's Natsuki. What are you doing here? Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. What are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I could see how it suits you, so... Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. These seem like a good idea. Yeah, you're digging a bit of a hole, Natsuki, unintentionally there. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammering herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, it seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason, I don't know why. But I want to eventually. There's no rush, I promise. Thanks. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Are you here again? I just came here to read this, because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, like, they all just assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want it to come up now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. And Sari, but that's different because she's not exactly into it, she just likes it, you know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have a thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already, if you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. I have online friends, since middle school actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Oh, whatever, we were all just stupid kids back then anyways. You're stupid kids now too. Don't worry about it. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time, I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves. No, you're all dead. Probably. That doesn't make you feel uncomfortable? No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. And then if you're real, you'd graduate into being stupid adults. Exactly. Natsuki raised her hand to her face and forcibly slapped her own cheek. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react, but then to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile as though it were a really funny joke. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly. Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. They get a whole hour for lunch? God damn, most schools here only get 35 minutes. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversations. I say that, but at the same time, they don't end their school day until like 5 or 6 o'clock. And I'm happy to end my school day at 3:30. I say as I usually don't leave until like 5 or 6 o'clock because of club activities. You're back. I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices the bottles of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. What, like for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I meant to say is thank you, and that's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses and nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So I believe you. Natsuki exhaled in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes a drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please, don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay, thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. Just reminds me of how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not gonna demand for anyone around me to change. Monica and Sarah really don't agree with that kind of thing, but they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I just don't know why I'm talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you like. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. I'm bad at a lot of those things. So, are those all the things that are important to you? Well, kind of, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sarah really likes your baking, and she makes you laugh, and she complains a lot. It doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk about that way? How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. You can't just compare friends like that and like measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry, I just don't like people who want to hurt you. What if silence stretches between them? They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? Don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts, like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I'd have to deal with myself. So Monica and Sarah never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're all like, "Aw, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes, and inside myself I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. You don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. So in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people, like all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversations and saying jokes and all that, I don't want to do, and I just disengage. Doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish that you could be friends with characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly it makes my heart ache. Yeah, me too. Really? A lot. Like, more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairway once more. But it's a mutual silence, one full of understanding. Aw, look at the two of them working through their differences. Alrighty. We're down to the last one, folks. Oh, so much reading, almost finished. Just to go into two games that I think are also a decent amount of reading. Oh. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today, she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. Sorry, just a second. My wrist rest here is peeling. Reading is good for the soul, like literature is good for sadness. Yeah. And friendships are terrible because they make people want to murder each other. Right? Today she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a little while. So, yeah, I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I haven't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share them with them, too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of a container. You made cupcakes. You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it, I just made them. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. I love green tea. And I need to get the format again. Whether it's killing kids or saving kids, you're doing something there. Good timing on that one. Oh, dude, it was just a random idea I wanted to try, so don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience. Friendship is terrible because it makes you want to murder each other. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh well, I don't know. It kind of just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyways. It's like, baking is like art. And when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that would just be eaten afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued. Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyways. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now wherein I don't feel like hanging out with them. I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapping audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad that the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do, so you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box, then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends, but I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded, but I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki, I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say anything bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes, and it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. No, I am. I'm so difficult, and I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in your letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monaco would be super annoying and make a huge deal of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things too, about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I want to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri wrestles through her bag and pulls out some tissues and hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person. So don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around. And you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people. And just a lot of things. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile, then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tile while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what makes me feel so confused. Because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It makes my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know it's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortable, unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like it's just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about that. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know, a lot of things. Like being alone, not having anyone to talk to or hang out with, not being able to replace what I have with them, and I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki? What? If anyone even thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. That's all. Well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. You're here first today. And you brought reading material. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. Hey, band, you can relate. Makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever. Hey, I'm actually at that point myself as well. I'm halfway through the final book in the series that I'm reading. Maybe, but there are some things I wish I could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when you just keep inviting more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. Two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go during the weekends, right? Excuse me? like with friends, at the mall, or downtown, or whatever. Not a total shut-in, you know? Well, my bad for making assumptions. While I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you and the others in the club, I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyways? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. I hate finishing a series / a very good book. It sucks. It really does. The only time I'm okay with finishing a book is when I know there's another one. It's still like, even if I have to wait, like there's a current series I'm reading that the next book isn't out yet. So I'm like sitting here going like, fuck, I gotta wait for the next one to come out. But at least there's another book. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees up into her chest and puts her head down. Can't take this. Did I do something wrong? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she must have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them, and then I just blocked them because I was so afraid of their responses. Now it feels like I'm dying inside. I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusual hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help. I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breathing, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulder. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods, shaking her head. Her shaking becomes much more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right here. You're in a good and safe place, where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulder, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hand, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise, and Natsuki tries a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good, let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like this for a few more cycles, while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Minutes pass in silence, but now the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may, or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her own book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts, but something about Natsuki of all people makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it, and because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted. Demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin to Moltus, to Zababa journey of learning to love yourself. Hey, look at that. Do you really mean that? You're probably going to regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably going to have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. To Mole to us. Sure. I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. Ah, well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor, but for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh, yes, I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How's that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry's my favorite. What a coincidence. Yuri has a good taste in ice cream. I probably wouldn't necessarily go chocolate raspberry, but like, doesn't sound terrible. I wouldn't mind like a chocolate with raspberry ripples, but just to like a scoop of each. I'd probably pick something else. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything else I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. And the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first, with the help of Sayuri. But you said I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying. I guess I'm glad you worked up the courage, even if it was in your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean like you? Yes, like me. Monica saw Sayuri made a cuter pairing. I don't know, I think both are cute in their own right. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now, but I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Feels nice to be reassured. Two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself. Yeah, until, somebody gains sentience, and then shit hits the fan. Since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. Aww. Alrighty, we're down to the last one now, aren't we? We're still missing 2 poems, 2 CGs, and a handful of other things. Oh. Artwork drawn by Satcherly to celebrate Monica's birthday in 2019. Acquisition procedure. Finish all of the side. Oh, that was the last side story. Oh, we're done. What? Oh, there's equals. Okay, so we do have one more, which I would assume then would give us potentially these 2 poems. Potentially these 2 CGs. I don't think it's going to give us these 3. I'm pretty sure these are, because it says that you get these randomly. So I'm sure I just need to continuously replay the game over and over again to try to unlock these. And then these ones I might need to trigger in a specific way. Kind of like this one. Okay, so before we do this one, there's an ad that's going to kick it in 2.5 minutes, so I'm just going to trigger it now and just get it out of the way. And then we're going to do the last side story and be done with Doki Doki. So let's BRB there, folks. for anyone who is able to hear this because they don't have to worry about the ad in the background. Mom actually just sent me a message showing me something that I can get for my stepfather for Christmas. It was a pretty cool pair of slippers. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know that sounds weird, but like as you get older, folks, you understand slippers and socks and shit are nice presents. Never look down on them. Alrighty, welcome back. Let's do this. Let's wrap up Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm wondering how dark this one's going to go, if at all. Because again, all the side story stuff has been no darkness. Just literal interpersonal drama and emotions and whatnot. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. So let's see. Let's dive into it. Okay, everyone. We're going to be taking a break from the usual activities today. I was thinking since people are starting to talk about the festival, it's a good time for us to go over the general direction of the club and all that. So, I'm assuming this is going to be the same festival that we're leading into, which means that this is just before we join in. Question mark. Think it'll help us figure out what to do for the festival, you know? Oh, Sarah and I already came up with a really good plan. Really? For the festival? Yeah, so the plan is this, okay? You and Yuri collect information ahead of time on which clubs and classes are doing food booths. Then we take a map and plan the most effective route so we can get to most of them before the lines get too long. Hey, that has nothing to do with the club. Well, you had to let me finish. Alright, fine, go ahead. Alright, so basically we get all the food we can, then we come back here and we all eat together. That's all. Wow, I got tricked twice by the same joke. Boo, don't be a hater. It's not like you can come up with anything better. Look, even Yuri was thinking about it. No, I wasn't. I would really prefer to do something literature related. We can eat anytime. The festival is a unique opportunity. Besides, it's been quite a while since we've seen any new interest in the club. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We really get a shot at showing people what the literature club is all about. I'll tell you what, we can do both, right? We'll make time for your food mission and still put together a public event. Oh my gosh, yes. I was just joking, but that's a really good idea. Well, I'm glad that that's settled. I think the question is how to come up with an event that demonstrates everything you can get out of the literature club. Well, that's kind of tough because everyone gets something different out of the literature club. Okay, how about this? Let's go around and have each of us talk about what we've gotten out of the club so far. That could really help us figure out what kind of reputation we want to build. Yeah, that's too embarrassing. Aw, but you'd have so much to talk about. That's exactly why. And I'm sure Natsuki feels the same way. Well, maybe, but I didn't plan on arguing against it or anything. I mean, it's a literature club. We talk about that stuff together, right? And the only way to get comfortable with it is to suck it up and do it. You're not wrong. I'm sorry for being resistant. It's not good to say suck it up because it sounds like their feelings don't matter. Right, my bad. It's just a habit I need to break. Well, anyway, who's going to start? I'll start. I was the first to join after all. Wouldn't that be me? No, I want to go first. Fine. You can start. I don't mind. So, Gosh, it feels like so long ago. I think I joined because I want to have fun sharing poems with people. It seemed like it would be a safe way to express myself, you know? Like if it's just a poem, then I can share it without feeling like I'm burdening everyone with my problems. This has been more of a therapy club than anything else. It has, 100%. And I thought it would be a really good way to get to know other people too. So yeah, I was really surprised when I walked in and it was just Monica. And she was sleeping. Don't remind me of that, oh gosh. Yeah, but it seemed like so much fun to help start a new club, especially since writing helped me so much. I want to see it help other people too. But it ended up being me who was inspired, because I remember feeling like Monica was just so sweet and mature, and that I could trust her with anything. It made me feel a lot less alone, having someone who knew even the bad things about me. No wonder I hate it. Rex, get help. And at that point, I knew the literature club was going to be special for a lot of people. Yeah, I felt the same way. It really helped give the club a more cohesive vision. Yeah, and then Yuri joined, but she was so different from us, and Natsuki too. I think for Yuri, it really helped me to take the lead before she was able to open up a little. But Natsuki was kind of the opposite, where she wasn't ready to get really close to someone really quickly. I never really thought about that sort of thing. I really feel like I've gotten better at understanding people's different needs, and that makes me really happy because my friends are just the most important thing to me. And whatever new members we get, I want to help them in those ways too. I don't know if I would have continued coming to the club if it weren't for you. Really? Mm-hmm. I know it wasn't too long ago, but it hurts to think about my behavior back then. I was really short-sighted. The only reason I came was to find others who were into fantasy. I suppose that was my idea of making friends with people. And I remember feeling uncomfortable because you and I have such different energy. I had such a specific idea of the kind of person I could be friends with, so when Sari tried so hard to get to know me, I felt like I was just wasting her time. I think I was naive to assume that similar interests were the key component of friendship. Sarah and I were able to be friends because she always thinks about the needs of other people. That's something I never knew how to do, or even thought to do. But I stayed in the club thanks to that, and I started to try as hard as I could to understand people better. You really went above and beyond when it came to that. I was just super impressed. Well, I always hated that I didn't know how to behave like a person who is easily liked by others, like the two of you can. Because of that, I spent so much time thinking about my own behavior and all the wrong things I said, and the whole time I should have been thinking about other people instead, not myself. Once I started doing that, I was able to make friends with everyone else. And also I discovered that sometimes I'm a better communicator when I take the time to write rather than speak. It's so strange the way things turned out. It's so far different from anything I ever would have expected. But I'm happy. I suppose we don't always know what we really need. You're so cute that I'm going to throw up. Okay, please don't do that, Sarah. Besides, I'm not cute. Hey, isn't that my line? Oh, well for me, it's also true, so... What are you saying? Nothing. I finished my part, so somebody else take their turn. My heart. Sarah, take some deep breaths. Okay, fine, I'll go. Yuri, I can't believe you were complaining about doing this and still went before me. What a show-off. I was just following up on Sarah. It was the easiest way to get it over with. Besides, you left out the most important thing that you got out of this club. I did? Yeah, a regular supply of your favorite cupcakes. Oh no, I forgot that too. I'm a traitor to the Cupcake Queen. Neither of you are forgiven. Looks like only Monica will get cupcakes next time. No! I can't eat that many cupcakes. Yeah, true. Only Yuri can. Hey. Well, anyway, I'm just putting off talking. It's kind of hard to talk about this stuff, but I guess what it comes down to is that I'm in a much better place mentally than I was when I first joined. And that's because everyone helped me realize that I had some really toxic friendships going on outside the club. It was honestly a really painful thing to go through, having to cut them out. It still hurts to think about. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's fine. I knew it was for the best, and I was right. I guess for me, it's all about feelings. I was only ever ridiculed for having feelings, so I thought the right thing to do was just to ignore them. It took me a really long time to realize that it's not really how things are supposed to work. And I guess that's thanks to everyone who took the time to respect my feelings, even when I was being, like, the biggest jerk. I'm really sorry for being such a jerk to everyone. I was really the worst. Natsuki's voice chokes a little. We love you, Natsuki. I just hate that I was like that. Everyone did so much for me, and I could never do anything in return. That's not true. Natsuki, you've done a lot more than you think. This club really wouldn't have been the same without you, I mean that. Remember how judgmental I was when you first showed up? I was like I couldn't accept anything other than my own idea of what a literature club was supposed to be. Apparently that was more important to me than the opportunity to bring you some happiness. You really taught me that anything that makes someone happy is worthy of respect. You've inspired me to start playing piano. That's something that means a whole lot to me. There's no need to put yourself down. Natsuki wipes her eyes. You helped me a lot too. It's so much fun to have you around, and you help me become a better person. Having a problem doesn't make you needy or inconvenient. It means that there's something that needs to be better for you, and you always deserve that. I agree. Seeing us have some of the same struggles made me a better person as well. I wouldn't want to change anything about our time here. I don't think any of us would. I'm sorry I got all dramatic again. That's all I wanted to say, so Monica can go now. No need to apologize. It was something I wanted to talk about anyway, because it made a big difference for me. I was always such a strict perfectionist who never took enough time to believe in the best of other people. But everyone kept proving me wrong. I made the mistake multiple times, thinking that my way was the best for everyone. The only proper way to handle feelings is to ignore them. Yeah. 100%, Rex. 100%. Or thinking I was needed to solve other people's problems. But I think being a leader means that you have to acknowledge that you're not perfect, and that the best thing you can do is help guide people rather than to do everything for them. Don't encourage her. No, 100% Rex. Ignore your feelings. Push them down. Suffocate them. We're all good people. We're all equals. I think that's the most important thing I've gotten out of the club, realizing what that really means. Sorry, what are you doing? I just thought that we should be writing some of these things down. Things about the club that are valuable to us. With a piece of chalk in her hand, Sarah writes the word trust on the chalkboard. It's because you showed me that I could trust you with everything about me, not just my good side. Suddenly, Yuri takes a piece of chalk as well. She writes understanding. Already doing it. Such perfect. Double down. Make it better. Really squish those feelings in there. I owe a lot of gratitude to everyone who took the time to understand me, even though it was so difficult for me to express myself. Monica takes a piece of chalk as well and writes the word respect. I always thought I was a respectful person, but it took the club for me to realize that there are more to it than I thought, and I'm a better person because of it. I have another one. Sayuri writes balance. Sometimes people want different things out of a friendship, or they need time before they're ready to become close. She's going to take this as validation rather than rebuking sarcasm. I hope you realize that. I will. Can't let them slip out. Sometimes, yeah, got that. So it's important to keep things balanced between you and the other person. That reminds me. Yuri writes reflection. Is anyone going to give Natsuki a chance to write something? I've always been a reflective person, but most of it has been nothing more than hating myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. Once I started reflecting on other people, and not just myself, a lot of things changed for me. So I think that's the most important one for me. That's great. We have a whole list of things now. Suddenly everyone turns to look at Natsuki. Well, everyone took all the chalk. Don't look at me like that, jeez. Could have just asked. Monica hands her a piece of chalk to the Natsuki. The Natsuki sighs and writes self-love. I don't know how far I've gotten with this yet, but it feels like things are at least on the right track. So there, that's my contribution. Together, everyone stares at the words on the board. Wasn't this club supposed to be about literature? It is. We still do a lot of literature. Friendship and literature. Yeah, you're right. Friendship and literature. Natsuki and Yuri gently nod as well. Hey, let's all take a picture together. We don't have one yet, right? Hey, you're right. Make sure you send it to me after. Wait, can I brush my hair first or something? Oh, you're fine. You already have the best hair out of all of us. Everyone get together. I can't fit you all in. How sweet. I'm really glad we talked about this stuff. It's easy to forget how far we've come with only 4 members. I have so many happy thoughts right now. I'm getting some really good inspiration for a poem. You know, I feel the same way. I kind of want to get some writing done. Me too. I think I would like that as well. Everyone's looking at me again. I'll do it too, but I might not not feel like sharing it. That's okay. That's okay. 4 members of the literature club disperse and return to their desks, each equipping themselves with a pen. Natsuki and Yuri give each other a quick glance, then start writing immediately. Sayuri stretches, then does the same. But Monica is left tapping her pen against the paper, unsure of where to start. Just move your hand. Monica mouths to herself. Write the way into your heart. Her mind full of thoughts, memories, and inspiration, Monica navigates past her mental barriers and begins to write. Doesn't matter what, just that it's something new. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. And there we have it, folks. As far as I am aware, we have completely finished Doki Doki. Wow. So a little surprised by the side story stuff. I don't know how I'd recommend this to people, whether like, because you can't play the side story stuff before playing the main game, because you have to unlock the side story stuff by playing the main game. But I kind of feel like it's better to do this, then go into the main game, because you get the like both ways of playing it are valid in different retrospects. But like this, I don't know, having this character development and understanding these characters before going into everything, I think makes it a little bit more impactful, even though it's still a little confusing in the sense of when does Monica wake up, why does Monica do what she does, and everything, but I don't know, it's weird. Having seen them now, I actually prefer the side stories. For me, it depends. If I was going into this, like I kind of was, knowing that this is a kind of horror-y psychological game, the side stories are a little boring. But the side stories, for what they are, were great. I highly enjoyed this. It was great interactions between the characters. It was great to see kind of character development through them, and what their personalities are really like with each other, that are in a genuine sense, not in a like being manipulated by awakened Monica sense. So I do like the side stories. It's just the side stories were not horror. So if you're going into the side stories going like, oh yeah, more horror stuff, you're not getting that. I feel like the order is right. It leaves it on a happier note in a way. You have the main game, then you've got these as a balm to soothe you after. That is fair. Yeah, I think both ways have a different impact that are great. So it really depends on how you want to go into it. Because, yeah, I agree with you in the sense of if you play the main game and then you go into this, you're like, okay, I see how they were friends. I see how, if this wasn't a horror game, how these people would have been. It really does warm the heart. But by doing it the other way, I feel like it adds more intensity to the things that happen, to be like, what the fuck is going on type of thing. But I think, yeah, both ways are pretty good. I've made some new headway with VM2. Don't get too excited. It's still impossible to establish any kind of stable connection, but it occurred to me that I could at least run a memory dump through some pattern analysis routines to see if we can decipher any digital data from their VM. I didn't want to hog all the server time on a hunch, but I have some primary results that indicate the presence of binary computer systems. Based on this, I'm going to schedule 3 days of server time next week to isolate any chunks of memory that appear to be binary data. If successful, we'll definitely be able to find some encoded text and get our first tiny glimpse of VM2. Don't mind me though, just keep going nuts on VM1 and hopefully I'll have more to share soon. I guess another way to do it would be base ending, side stories, true ending. That actually might be a good way to look at it, yeah. That might be pretty good. The only issue with that though, again, and you would have, I guess either way, you'd have to do certain things through YouTube, is you have to get the true ending to unlock all the side stories. But even if you did side stories first, you'd have to do that via YouTube. So that point is null and void. Don't even worry about, yeah. You know where I'm going with this. So we're still missing 2 poems, so I gotta figure out what I need to do to get those. Everyone say cheese and then funny faces. I like that. Gonna have to do some stuff for those, figure out those, and then these as well. Okay. Because yeah, the only achievement I have left is getting 100% of the data, which is just unlocking all those CGs and whatnot. But I will do that on my own time, because we don't need to grind out that here. But let's double check that. Is that actually the case? Achieve 100% data collection. Yeah, that's it. That's all we got left. And then we get the platinum. Am I happy with Doki Doki having more or less finished it? Yeah, I like it. I enjoyed it. It's not necessarily my cup of tea in just the sense of like, I love visual novels, but I prefer to sit down and kind of do them on my own just because it's a lot of reading. That is my only gripe with it. And that's not even a gripe I have with the game. It's just the standard feeling of doing something like this while streaming is it puts a lot of emphasis on me having to read. And I think I did fine with the reading. Don't get me wrong. I always struggle reading out loud. So I don't fault the game for it by any means. Like in my opinion, this is still, I don't know. I'm probably gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I'm probably gonna take 1 point off from the side stories, which I don't know. I'm still debating that. Like, maybe 9.5. I don't know. Just because, again, I love the horror aspect of the first thing, and the side stories. As much as they were great, I was still going into this with a psychological horror kind of mindset. But overall, I love the game. Would be glad to do something similar to this in the future. This just would not become a staple for me. This is like once or twice a year. If somebody throws something at me that they're like, hey, I think you would really enjoy this, do it on stream, I would consider doing it, type of thing. But overall, I did enjoy Doki Doki. I think they did great with the psychological. Like, if you didn't know that this was a psychological horror game going into it, I think they did great slowly getting into it, feeling like, hey, this is a dating sim that eventually just out of nowheres. Your smiley at some points was nice to see. You tend to be very focused with most games because they're more actiony. That's fair, yeah. This one allows me to kind of sit back and, I guess, reflect and enjoy a bit more, which I do like that. Which the next two games should be more like that as well. I don't know exactly how their gameplay is, but it's a lot more story-based focused than it is anything else, I believe. But I think with that, I'm going to wrap up Doki Doki. Thanks for joining in, folks. Stream, we're not leaving. I'm setting this up as multiple different videos, so I'm kind of wrapping it up for YouTube and then moving on from there. So YouTube, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping in. If you want to see some more content like this, make sure you get yourself in the Discord. Because that's when I usually post about. I take suggestions from people and whatnot. We are moving on from this to, again, 2 horror games that you'll see in a little bit, and then back to Yakuza 6. So yeah, enjoy your day. Have a good time. Make sure you do homework, and we'll see you next time, YouTube. Bye-bye.